Who are you training with right now? Who are you working with now?
3 Lions.
3 Lions. You've been doing that for a little while.
I'm doing the girls goalkeepers right now. I also help teams in tournaments. Yeah, I did just. Yeah, I think he's already pretty close to being the strongest girls player.
Well, those six backs were just
He's got more solid years than
Oh yeah, he's a comic book. Terrell Parcells smushed all together.
I don't really consider them an Indiana club. I still think of them as Illinois. They don't see them over. They don't play in the other clubs. They don't play in the Indiana League. They play in the Illinois League, so we just don't see them. Did you play local?
I assume there is much as one. You mean this one? That's what I had. It was a couple.
10-year-old.
We have a.
Well, if you have two that close, actually,
I remember first time I told this I've done it for how many weeks for the stay with our Chinese. It's like I gotta stop watching this. So
Both of them private schools, St. Mary's and Cherville. General's been playing fifth grade soccer there.
I ran enough base on. As I went from baseball one time, I remember which is bad.
When I was driving to go over there to help out,
Nobody's How long was the show when it started? I gather there have been a bunch of. It's not hard.
We are definitely moving. They do APH.
Like I did a lot of the regional soccer.
oh yeah, that is.
Some of them, not a lot.
I got news for you. I did something that's
Out to relatively I was just one of those guys Oh no. Everybody else.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard for me to stick aside because I regularly you assign me to any school, any even locally, interest, anybody in the crowd, because I put up that's too much. Hanover girls,
Hanover boys are barely gonna have a team.
yeah, up here in like you're not friends with the dude, but I think and kids on every team.
Because I think you were in that sectional game in Lake Ellisville.
Yeah.
Nice to show you.
That was a good game.
No. That's the other. There he is. How you doing, Peter? Good.
Yeah.
How are you?
Good.
Nice to see you, Jack.
Get this puppy put up, all right.
Doing yourself?
Yeah, that's gonna be hard to do games, Scott.
Yeah, it doesn't leave me much, I know, but I just don't want to deal with.
Yeah, we're doing a different setup. That's the thing. Yeah, we figured it out when we were here. We actually took about 5 minutes to figure it out.
Kind of need that much time.
We're gonna give Dave credit. It's his idea.
Reluctantly. No, I didn't even know the website. So any chance you get in between, focus on the banner here, and then we're going to cover that up.
How to hold that up.
Well, I got duct tape.
What I need is one of those like
We're gonna have
sticky
to
back
take these off,
clips.
Scott. Put them on the side, maybe. Or put them. Well, you know what? Why don't we put one right up here?
The banner won't hang underneath.
Nah.
It might. Well, yeah, I guess it could. Yeah, let's do that.
Because I mean, the middle can.
Tell you what, hold that
How about
up.
if you tape duct tape
on the corners?
Then the tape is kind of almost out of shot anyway. At least it's in the corners. It's not as intrusive.
How much do you want? Do you want a big piece or just a smaller piece?
Just go like that,
Yeah.
maybe. Hope it holds.
I gave Andy a call about the website thing, but I figured it out. He had everything. He's got all the rosters posted up there with the all that stuff, so should be fine.
There you go. Probably do that on the other end too. Just in case. You can still see our sign. More or less.
Grab some lunch, Peter, if you want before we start.
I'll do it after.
Okay.
He wants me to see the
Oh,
back
okay.
of the camera town now.
How you doing, Coach?
Good, how are you? Good. See you again.
Appreciate it.
Good, sir. Mike, did you make a name tag for him?
Did not. Did not.
Yeah, just Jen.
Yeah, it's kind of a last minute thing that happened. Made life easier just to adjust the
Yeah, that's the only one I came up with.
It was pretty much shot on.
It's for sure.
Now I'm able to go 3 times. That may switch a little bit. Now I'm doing anything else. Be a handful of guys that are be able to, that's about it. I couldn't pass that up.
No, he said it. He teed it up. You're right. You're right.
You throw a softball, I'm gonna say I agree with you. Guys are nicked up and you got to play the first game. So that just you'll be registered. So the extra note that you have doesn't necessarily make either extra right now, but yeah, I manage. What was the score? 1-1?
I'm going to have Paul send you a text just to let us know about our sound levels and stuff. Hey, Chris. How are you? Good.
Just in case. They'll probably walk off with yours.
Haven't done that in a while.
That's right.
Hello there.
Hello. We are streaming, so.
Yeah, okay. You ready to rock and roll?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You mentioned earlier about the Welton Wire. He was not in Indianapolis for the All-Star game. Normally he's there every year. Okay. It's almost 1 o'clock.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Keep me on posted there, buddy.
It's not 2 hours yet. It's not 9 o'clock either. Wow. Josh would be impressed with our setup.
And welcome everybody to the 19th annual Northwest Indiana High School Soccer Kickoff Preview Show here on RRSN.com and Regional Radio Sports. Good afternoon, everybody. We are live from Hallmark Sports Club 2 in Merrillville, 8328 Colorado Street, just south of Route 30 and just east of the intersection of I-65 and Route 30 here in Merrillville/Hobart, I guess. I'm joined here by Dave Miller. We've got Pat Doherty of our crew, along with Tony Miller and Adam Demery that's joining us here as well. Pat is also here as well from the staff here at Hallmark, and we're getting set to bring on our corporate sponsor in today's event, and that is Calumet College of St. Joseph's. It's your university of choice and the region home for Crimson Wave athletics. Men's and women's soccer, cross country, volleyball, and CCSJ's nationally ranked bowling teams will be in full action during the fall season. Follow all 18 Crimson Wave teams year-round. You can go to their website at www.crimsonwaveathletics.com. That's crimsonwaveathletics.com. Also, we want to give special thanks as well to JJ's Pizza Shack in Valparaiso. They're located at 1354 West Northland Drive. They offer a variety of great tasting pizza, including their famous pizza sink. We're going to get the exact address for you there. That's some old ad copy. Do you have pizza today? Their menu also includes sandwiches as well as seafood, rib, and chicken dinners and salads. Carry out and delivery is available in the local area. For delivery, call JJ's Pizza Shack. A call today at 476-1616. We also want to thank Winey Insurance Agency. They're our proud sponsor of the Chesterton boys and girls soccer segments today. They're located at 762 South Calumet Road in Chesterton. You can give them a call at 219-926-3431 for all your insurance needs. You can also check them out on the web at wineyinsurance.com. We're going to get set to bring on CCSJ here, but Dave, a very successful season in Northwest Indiana last year. Before I forget, want to put in a plug here for the Indiana Football Digest. Go to indianafootballdigest.com to pick up the 2013 edition of the publication. You can also check it out on our website at rrsn.com. It's got previews of over 300 high school programs across the state of Indiana, as well as 19 collegiate football programs across the Hoosier State. So if you're looking for feature articles as well as information on all the high school and collegiate as well as the Colts here in Indiana, pick up a copy of the Indiana Football Digest. A portion of the proceeds from every one of these that we sell go back to the high schools that we support in the state of Indiana. And Dave, a successful season last year. The Crown Point girls team make it to the semi-state before losing to St. Joseph's. Danny Yeftich's Valparaiso Viking team going to the semi-state before losing to Hamilton Southeastern. But a lot of excitement, and of course at this time of the year, not only in the pitch but in the gridiron as well.
You know, the one thing, Mike, we on regional radio, we always broadcast the Indiana Kentucky All-Star game, and that's the middle of June, and that's kind of like the end of the season. And we're thinking, well, we got to wait a couple months for the start of the school year, and here it is. The soccer kickoff show always seems to kick off the new season, and we're going to be here to 9 o'clock Central Time. Hopefully we won't fall asleep, but we're going to have a lot of teams and a lot of coaches and a lot of great kids. So stay with us as long as you can, and that we will be here until 9 o'clock with the soccer kickoff show. And we are video casting it for the first time, so we hope that that everyone enjoys it.
Our good friend Gene Miller also joining us as well, who does a great job for us on behind the scenes information for us throughout the year, so we're looking forward to that as well. So 43 programs are going to be coming through, both high school as well as college programs, and one of the college segments is going to be right here at the start, and it is going to be the Calumet College of St. Joseph Crimson Wave. So we're going to bring in Peter Hayes-Herring along with Coach Justin Olson right now. They're going to join us, and we're going to talk a little bit of collegiate soccer action. Peter, why don't you have a seat right over here, throw that on. Coach, come over here to the right, put a headset on and the stick mic there, and we'll talk a little bit about the Crimson Wave and what you guys have going on. Once again, we want to mention that Calumet College of St. Joseph has the lowest tuition of any private college in Indiana. It offers traditional programs with flexible class schedules, accelerated programs to help adults earn their bachelor's degree in as little as 12 months, and master's programs specifically designed for working adults. Some classes are also offered at the University Center in Portage. Make CCSJ your university of choice. For more information, call 219-473-4215 or check them out on the web at ccsj.edu. And I bring in Peter Hayes-Herring right now of Calumet College. And Peter, an exciting time of year. You guys have had a lot of different camps going on with the different sports as well as activities over there, and in anticipation of the start of another fall year. Hard to believe.
It is hard to believe. It goes by very fast, but you mentioned our camps. It's one of the things we take quite a bit of pride into, to try to reach out to the youth within the region, to give them some opportunities of know who we are and get the familiarity with our coaches and our student athletes who are very involved in creating a quality camp environment for them during the summer.
Yeah, you've got the volleyball camp, the Crimson Wave dance camp, also the annual golf outing, which is a big fundraiser for you guys,
Correct.
as well as the youth basketball camp. Touch base on how those camps get the student athletes familiar with the campus as well as the academics that you offer there.
Well, the camps are really there just as a promotional opportunity for people within the region to know what we're about. It's just kind of that grassroots approach to making people understand that we're a fixture within the region and that we're pretty involved within athletics through Calumet College of St. Joseph. And you know, for the kids who come in to participate, they leave with a great experience and a little bit more knowledge of college sports within the region. And they come back and watch our volleyball team play, watch our basketball teams play. participate. We welcome them back to be part of halftime shows with our dance program. So, I mean, we really try to integrate the younger groups that come in because we want them to continue to be part of, an extension of our Crimson Wave family.
Well, I know that the game of soccer is obviously very near and dear to your heart, being the former coach over at Wheeler and then, of course, over at CCSJ as well. And the young man to your immediate right, we're going to touch base with him a little bit here, Justin Olson, who now is taking the reins over the women's program there as well at CCSJ. But you've got 17 other sports to touch base on, and also some exciting things possibly coming down the pike on the gridiron as well.
Yeah, I mean, we are definitely exploring the opportunities of football. Now, what it turns into, again, it's very exploratory. We need to make sure that as we look into that possibility of adding that to the complement of our other 18 sports, that we do it right. We have the right support from the surrounding community and region, which I don't think is going to be too difficult within the persuasion. But we just want to do things right so that if we do move forward with this possible addition to our athletic program, that we do get a good community support. We get the support of the college and all the stakeholders that are involved within that. And if we do it right, it could be right around the corner.
And, of course, a beautiful facility for baseball as well as for softball. I'd like you to touch base on that as well as some of the other spring sports as well.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a great facility on campus that really is our home, not just for the athletic department, but for our home basketball games, volleyball games, wrestling matches. So the Rittenmeyer Athletic Center has been critical over the last 4 years of just sort of heightening what we're able to provide to our student athletes. The city of Whiting has been wonderful in allowing us to make Oil City Stadium our home. They also have their municipal softball complex that's a couple blocks away from Oil City Stadium. That's our home for softball and tennis. So we've really been able to kind of maximize some of the resources around our campus to really complement our Crimson Wave sports. And it keeps it close to campus, and it makes that experience even more worthwhile for our student athletes.
We're going to bring on Justin Olson right now, the head men's and women's soccer coach over at Calumet College of St. Joseph's. Pick up the microphone there, Coach. And first of all, talk about that particular endeavor, coaching both and the scheduling and being able to devote time with the resources that you have to get accomplished in both of them.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really excited about the opportunity. The previous coach ended up having a nice opportunity for herself, and Peter brought me into his office around the middle of the summertime and presented the option to both teams. And as far as scheduling and things go, our ladies were training in the mornings, our guys are training in the afternoons. So for me, it's just a lot of tedious effort and making sure I'm organized on both ends.
Yeah, there's no question about that, Coach. And you've got some great recruits coming in from the local level. I'd like you to touch base on that. It seems like the Duneland Athletic Conference is always at the forefront with some quality student athletes that come in, as well as all across Northwest Indiana.
Yeah, I was able to bring in 15 new recruits on the men's side this year. It was a long off season, but it was well worth it. We ended up picking up Josh Craig from Lake Central, who had a nice regional game against Crown Point, for those of you that remember that. A couple other good guys like Jordan Gravy from Cowles High School, and just trying to bring in the best talent that the region has to offer. And I look at a school like Indiana University, and they're able to win a Division I national championship, and 95% of the roster is Indiana kids. So
the other thing too, I noticed there's players from California. You got a player from Venezuela, from Arizona, and that really just goes to show the nationwide emphasis that you've got for the program, and kids are attracted not only to the school for the athletics, but the academics as well.
Yeah, we're really close to Chicago, and for us bringing in kids that are from all over the country, they're able to fly in and fly home pretty easily around holidays and family visits and that kind of thing. Academically, we have some strong programs, and guys like to be by a big city with plenty of things to do. And I like to create some diversity within the roster as well. I mean, not just having all Indiana kids.
Right.
It's nice to bring in some diversity, and kids will learn from each other and learn about different cultural differences, from each kid, and it's been fun to watch.
And a lot of talented upperclassmen as well, some from this area as well from out of the area. And on the women's side, not as many local kids. It seemed like you were able to get into the Chicagoland area a lot more with the ladies program, and also more on a national-wide basis.
Yeah, coming in, there was a lot of the previous coach had a lot of ties to Illinois, and most of my ties are in Indiana, so it's just kind of a difference in approach, and we were able to bring in a nice region kid, Carly Burmis from Portage.
Right.
She transferred in from Ball State, so she's been looking sharp this preseason, and as far as the women's side goes, we have about 21 girls right now, and it's a great core to build around.
So as you take a look now moving forward, give us an idea on the competition in the CCAC, the different programs that you're going up against, as well as some of the non-conference scheduled games that you do to try to get yourself prepared for conference play.
Non-conference, we really try to pick up some of the best teams we can possibly face. For example, on the men's side, we play Valparaiso University this year on the reserve squad. So what we try and do is pick up some quality opponents to really prepare ourselves for the conference season. On the men's side, there's 3 teams in our conference that are nationally ranked. We also have on the women's side Olivet Nazarene, who didn't lose a game last year, so that's going to be some healthy competition on the ladies' side as well.
No doubt about that. And again, touch base a little bit about the various kids that are coming in and some of the things that you try to impart upon them as they come into the program as a freshman. That's a very difficult transition. A lot of kids sometimes are not used to that speed of play when they're coming in from the high school level. So how do you approach that in trying to get them prepared not only for the speed of play, but also time management as well?
Yeah, I have a lot of contact with my new recruits throughout the summertime, and then when we have a midsummer meeting, and then we have a preseason meeting, and I really have them meet with some of my upperclassmen, and they sit down and kind of brainstorm as to what have the upperclassmen done to transition. As far as the freshmen goes, I mean, it is much faster, so what I like to do is just kind of throw them to the wolves and kind of let them figure it out. Obviously, I'm there to guide them along the way, but the best teacher is the game itself, in my opinion.
Well, thanks very much for taking the time and coming out, Coach. Best of luck in the endeavors for both the men's and women's program over at CCSJ. Calumet College is going to be on again later on in the program from 4:57 until 5:07. So please remember to check that out as well later on today. That'll be immediately after our segment with the Michigan City girls. Once again, Calumet College of St. Joseph is your university of choice and the region home for Crimson Wave athletics, men's and women's soccer, cross country, volleyball, and CCSJ's nationally ranked bowling teams will be in full action during the fall season. Follow all 18 Crimson Wave team year-round by going to the website at crimsonwaveathletics.com. Thanks again, gentlemen. We appreciate your time, and we'll see you a little bit later on this afternoon.
Sounds good.
Peter Hayes-Herring, along with Justin Olson, joining us here. Also, we want to give special thanks as well to JJ's Pizza Shack. For great tasting pizza, you must try JJ's Pizza Shack, located in Valparaiso. They offer a variety of great tasting pizza, including their famous kitchen sink. I know Dave likes the kitchen sink. Do you have
absolutely.
pizza yesterday? Their menu also includes sandwiches,
I like that.
seafood, ribs, chicken dinners, and salads.
Man, am I
Carry
full.
out and delivery is available in the local area. So for delivery, give JJ's Pizza Shack a call. That's 476-1616. That's 476-1616. And we're going to bring in Jim Prosopoulos along with Dimitri Georgelis, and Peter Panos is going to join us here. And they are going to join us here and talk a little bit about Munster Mustang men's soccer here. The Munster Mustangs coming off a 13-5-1 campaign, losing a heartbreaker in a shootout to the Valparaiso Vikings over at the Merrillville Regional this past season. They finished 5-1 in the Northwest Crossroads Conference. And Coach, welcome back. It seems like the older we get, the summers get shorter and shorter, don't they?
Exactly. Year 16 for me with the Mustang, so enjoyed every moment of it. You go through some mostly good times and sometimes bad times, but it's been 99% great.
Talk about the progress of the program. You had won 10 straight sectionals or 12 straight sectional championships, and were not able to break through on the regional level. And then we're able to get through that wall and be able to win that regional championship and get to the semi-state. And it seems like ever since then, the expectations have been there to get back to that level and possibly eventually punch your ticket down to Indianapolis.
Oh, definitely. I mean, it took a few years to and when you win the first sectional championship, it's a milestone, and then took a little bit longer than I wanted to win the first regional, and then we won another one, which was nice. And, yeah, just getting past that regional is the ultimate goal. and having a group of guys that can get to that championship game. I mean, that's the goal, is to win state. I mean, period. It's hard to do. You got to have a little luck in there, of course. You got to have depth on your bench, and you got to do a lot of things the right way. But that's the goal. If it's not, then you shouldn't be coaching or playing.
The back line suffered some heavy graduation losses, and that particular quartet that played in front of Evan Catan, coach, did just such a terrific job, only giving up 18 goals all season while scoring 65. How is that back line going to be affected by that graduation? And as the old saying goes, one man's advancement is another man's opportunity, right?
That's really sort of our motto this year, I guess you can say. I mean, the two guys that are with me are really the only two starters that are back. But we have some younger guys that will be able to fill in, and we have talent across all grades. And we have Ricky Delgado back there on defense, that's really going to be the leader back there. So, I think we'll be okay. We just all have to gel together and work hard together. And if we do that, we might have some growing pains, but I think we'll do well.
Having that striker, that guy that has that assassin's approach is always key. It was Zarko Korik a couple years ago, Nick, and again, forgive me, I've had it pronounced a couple different ways. There was Cosleon or Cosleon. Guys that he got 2 of the goals in the regional game for you. How difficult is it? You're going to have Peter here, of course, to fill in some of those shoes, but how difficult is it to teach that, especially when you're getting man-marked and the physical play that you're going to find against the stoppers?
Oh, it's not easy to have two strikers up there that can play that position. That's one of the hardest positions. I mean, Peter Panos, he does very, very well up there, and he plays sort of that withdrawn striker, and he can really help set people up. And so he's going to be obviously an integral part of what happens up there. And Dimitri Georgialis is going to be one of our center mids. So if these guys with a few of the other seniors can get some of these younger guys to gel, and we can get everybody on the same page, we should be okay.
Let's bring in Peter Panos right now. A junior last year, is going to be heading into a senior season, 6 goals and 8 assists last year. And Peter, talk about the transition now for senior season. You, of course, were in the starting rotation for Munster, but now you're going to be the main guy up there. So from a mental standpoint, talk about that adjustment now to being the go-to guy.
Well, one big thing that I'd have to point out is that coming into this year, the senior class is much smaller, a lot different, and there's a lot more, pressure per se put on the seniors themselves.
Good point.
As last year I'm there and, I'm thinking, like if I can't get this job, then I got the older guys in front of me that could do it. But, now it's on us, and it's up to us to be the ones to get that job done. And, the feeling is great. I love it. It's my senior year. I want to have a great time. I want to do everything I can for the team. I love playing the game, and I'll just do whatever I can possible to do it, and it's just see what happens from there,
What did you learn from Nick and Zarko as far as to be a good striker?
Well, the way that Zarko would play is he would kind of he would be more of a laid back, and he'd go vertical to the goal. Cosleon,
offensive mid type of thing.
Cosleon was a lot more vertical, and playing with both of them kind of taught me both aspects of the forward position. I really took more towards the Zarko's aspect of it. I'm not really the more vertical one, straight towards the goal. But the things I learned from them was, they were both great leaders, really good leaders. They'd always have something good to say, and they got me to where I am today. Learning from both of them, playing with them ever since my sophomore year up top. So.
How has the off season been with you for as far as conditioning and preparing yourself for your senior year?
Well, my off season just recently I had a knee injury, but I've been coming back from it. I've been playing now this past few weeks, and by the time season comes around, I'll be 100%. I've been trying to, run as much as I can over the summer, get myself in shape for the season, and keep it going from there.
One of the guys you're going to be getting those passes from is the gentleman to your immediate right. Why don't we pass the microphone over to Dimitri Georgialis, who had 10 assists last year. And Dimitri, talk about the role in the center midfield area, distributing to your teammates up there, and how that fits in with your overall game.
Well, last year I had Daniel Riggs with me, and we gelled really good together because we've been playing for a couple years. But now it's kind of like me and some of the younger kids, so I gotta hope they gel with me and play together, and hopefully the outside mids and the forwards don't always just run vertical. Hopefully some of them check in like Peter does.
Right.
Maybe some outside mids play 1-2, and hopefully trying to find the quick switch across the field and get some open space.
Are you the type of player now as you head into your senior season? Do you like to lead by example, or are you a guy that likes to get in somebody's mug and verbally tell them that, hey, we need to kind of step things up here and get back to the level we need to be?
I'm kind of both. I mean, some kids.
Coach is nodding in agreement.
some kids don't take constructive criticism very well, so they try to like look at you for examples. I mean, me and Peter been on varsity for 3-4 years now, trying to be the big example for the younger kids so they can see how to play the game, and hopefully they learn some stuff from us.
And I know these seniors are taking a lot, they're putting a lot on their shoulders too, but, the one thing that we stress to the team, the entire team, is that we've got to help these guys out too. I mean, let's not have the mentality of, I'm just going to work hard when I become a senior, and then you waste 3 years. I mean, you would want, I tell the freshmen, sophomores, and juniors, you would want those younger players to back you up when you're a senior, because that's your last chance, man.
I've got a question for the two student athletes. A lot of schools are going to field turf and playing soccer on field turf. Now, you guys still play your games on natural grass, but you have the football field, which is on field turf. How do you adapt to playing on field turf, and do you ever practice on the practice football field?
Yeah, on the turf, the ball doesn't stop moving. The ball is a lot quicker. So when you go on the grass, you have to make sure the passes are hard enough so it can get to the player's feet. But on the turf, you got to be careful a little bit, because if you hit it too hard, it might keep rolling and rolling and rolling.
Honestly, our practices are about 50-50 on grass and turf. So we alternate.
Yeah, I feel like, it does kind of benefit us though in a way. Playing on the turf, you really have to keep your touches, and you really have to make sure you have that touch closer to you. So if you could perfect your touch on the turf, I mean, it's just even better when you're playing on the grass the next day on game.
Isn't the practice football field lined for soccer?
Yeah, it's got lines on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that kind of benefits you as well.
Oh yeah, exactly. We could play a nice big full field scrimmage on there whenever we'd like.
You mean the practice soccer field, the back turf field? Come on, football can't have two fields, man. They already have a nice locker room with air conditioning in there. So.
I'm sorry I brought it up.
don't tell Coach Marsh. Right?
Oh no, certainly won't.
Coach, what about some of the other kids besides the two that you brought here? Is Xavier going to be the one that's going to move into that spot with Evan, and maybe some of the other younger kids? You had mentioned Ricky Delgado. Some of the other kids that have opened your eyes up so far in preseason.
Well, you know what? There's a lot of guys. I mean, the possibilities for a lot of different guys to step up. Xavier will be in the goal. I mean, he's been around Catan a couple of years, Evan Catan. So he's going to grow in that position. We mentioned Ricky Delgado being in there too. He'll do really well. We have some outside, younger outside mids. Max Lawson. We have Michael Portone. They'll be outside mids. So we have some pretty good depth in all areas, but we're not extremely experienced. But these guys play soccer year round, so it's not like they don't know how to play. We just have to gel together, and they play in different club teams. We bring it together, and we just have to make sure that what we do works for us. And we do that, and we should be all right.
Well, two early road games for the Munster Mustangs at Portage as well as Lowell. Then they have a 5-game homestand, but some very difficult competition there, Coach, with Kankakee Valley's improving program, Bishop Knoll, Crown Point, which had a very disappointing loss in the regional, an always strong Chesterton team, and then a very tough Griffith team in the conference. So the kids will be tested early.
Yeah, we'll be tested early, but I also look at that last stretch, and we get to, that Zionsville tournament and Drain and Valpo. Those, because we're not sure who we're going to be matched up with the Zionsville tournament, but those are some tough indie teams. I mean, so, yeah, we're going to be tested throughout the whole schedule. But let's hopefully we're competing and doing very well by the end. Not just, for sure. So we'll see.
Coach, always a pleasure. Thanks
you.
very much. Guys, Peter, Dimitri, thank you very much. We appreciate your time, guys.
Thank you.
Best of luck to the Munster Mustangs this season. Jim Persopoulos, well over 200 wins in his career. That averages about 13 wins a year, Dave.
That's pretty good
heading
for
into
soccer.
the 16th season with the Munster Mustangs. Once again, our corporate sponsor here today, the program that's really stepped up and helped us here was Calumet College of St. Joseph. They're your university of choice and the region home for Crimson Wave athletics, men's and women's soccer, cross country, volleyball, and CCSJ's nationally ranked bowling teams will be in full action during the fall season. Follow all 18 Crimson Wave teams this year and year-round on their website at crimsonwaveathletics.com. And Adam, make sure I get those bio sheets. Yes, thank you very much. We appreciate that. As now we are going to move on, and we're going to head to Lowell High School the home of the Red Devils. And we are going to, first down Red Devils is one sport, but we've had a sudden change in things over with the soccer program. Erin Gallagher is going to check in with us here, and she's going to join us. And Erin, first of all, go ahead and pick up that headset there, and got a couple mics here. And first of all, kind of a sudden situation there with the program, but now so right now there's no head coach. Is that the situation?
There is a head coach. It's actually Kim Gavelik. She coached a few years ago at the high school.
Okay.
We just came in a few days ago, so it's been a quick change. I happen to be the only coach in town today, so you get me.
Well, thanks very much for taking the time. We appreciate it. And, of course, we all know about Kim's background. Did a terrific job with the program over there. And talk about the off season so far and what's been going on with the conditioning and the numbers that you had come out.
Well, we have a lot of girls that are out there, actually. We've been doing really well with that, and everybody seems really excited. This transition happened just at the end of last week, so I don't have too much. I've been out there for a few days, so I don't know if one of you wants to talk about what you've been doing this summer.
Well, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead and pick up the mic there, Kim. Yeah, let us know what you've been doing as far as your off-season conditioning so far.
We've been running a lot, getting in shape, doing some drills, just focusing on our passing and things. Getting ready for our big teams to come against. We want to upset a lot of teams this season because we have a really talented group of girls.
That is Kimmy Kasparian. As a matter of fact, she is rated in her 11th in her class as a junior with a 3.2, a multiple sport athlete over at Lowell High School. Talk about the Indiana Magic, training with them, and how that helps you approach the high school season, both with conditioning as well as with your knowledge of the game.
It's just little training sessions. We just practice, but we don't have games because Indiana Magic doesn't have girls teams yet. We've been working on trying to start girls teams, but it's helped a lot because it's just the guys coach and he's been helping us, and just a great group of girls practicing, and I'm trying to bring the drills to practice, and yeah.
So the situation on the transition now with you being a junior and one of the leaders on this team, obviously Coach selected you to come out here. How do you think that's going to affect as far as the leadership of the team? Is there going to be more emphasis now on the players to kind of take control of things a little bit at the beginning before the new coach gets an opportunity? And how do you go about doing that with working with your senior classmates?
Well, we've actually had 3 seniors this year, so it's just kind of all of the upperclassmen stepping up and being leaders. We've been trying to control the girls and trying to get ready with all the transitions, just kind of focusing on winning the season and getting ready to play.
Well, one thing that was a positive here is that the coach that was there before, Coach Butch, who was one of the top scorers in Lowell history over there, has really set the bar kind of high now heading forward because you guys were right around 6 or 7 wins. We're in a lot of the other games and stuff. So touch base on the confidence level as you head into this year and the fact that you were able to hang tough in that sectional game last season and how that will spur you into success for 2013.
Well, we have our heads in it now, and
what about you personally as a leader? Are you one that likes to lead by example, or are you more of a verbal person that will get in somebody's face and say, hey, it's time to kind of step things up here? What makes Kimmy tick?
And you can't say your heart.
Honestly, don't know.
You more just a person that kind of leads by example and just try to do the best you can?
I'm kind of quiet, and then Melissa just kind of gets the girls pumped and ready to go. And I just kind of go out there and play and kind of cheer on everybody and stuff like that.
Well, let's bring on first team all-conference as well as defensive player of the year, Melissa McBride. And welcome to the program, Melissa. 3.5. You and Kimmy doing a terrific job, both of you in the classroom. And how do you balance all that between coaches' expectations on the field as well as what you're trying to accomplish through your teachers?
It's really difficult. Like, having to deal with a whole bunch of school. SRT really did help during school because it gives you time to do it in the classroom. When you come home from practice and you're so tired and you have to get all this homework done, it's just really difficult.
Comment a little bit about some of the newcomers. We see Katie Holt, Rebecca Cook, I believe, and Amanda Wybrew were three players that Coach had mentioned that were newcomers to the program. Talk about those student athletes as well as maybe some of the other kids that you've seen that have kind of opened your eyes up in the preseason.
Those three players have definitely stepped it up. Two of them are freshmen, and they are trying to prove the best they can on how good they can be. And definitely Katie and Becca have definitely stepped it up. And with Amanda being a senior, and this is her first time playing with us, she has definitely showed a lot of potential, and she can basically play anywhere, and that's something we really need as a team.
How was the game against Merrillville? I had a chance to be out there to see it. It seemed like it was pretty nip and tuck. It was a one-goal game. How do you take that experience of getting very close to a Dumoulin Athletic Conference foe in the sectional and parlay that maybe into some postseason success this year?
That game definitely can give the team confidence because we definitely proved that we can come out and we can play as hard as we can and we can be the best athletes we can possibly be, and we can win a lot of games this season, and we definitely do have the potential to beat anyone we come across.
How's Coach been so far in the early going here?
It's been pretty good actually. Practices have been good. It's been basically like normal for me. It's just kind of a changing coaching and supervision.
Mm-hmm. Now, how about a style here, Coach? Are you going to kind of try to impart some of your philosophies on things here, or are you going to kind of take some of the past and maybe mold it in with some of your personal experience?
Yeah, we don't want to change it too drastically. I mean, they're all very comfortable and they have a style that they're used to, so obviously we have to respect that. But at the same time, I played at Lowell for my high school years and everything, and
right.
I played my whole life, so I have some things that are in my background that I do want to bring, so it's just finding kind of a harmony between those two philosophies.
Any other young players that you've seen that have kind of opened your eyes up here in the preseason that you say, wow, that's a pretty good move. Maybe we could slot them in the back, maybe help us in the midfield, or maybe even a person that kind of has that assassin's mentality to put the ball in the onion sack, so to speak?
There have been several people that just watching in the couple days they've been out there, you can see that they're real go-getters and they're hustling every day and going after the ball. So I'm really optimistic with that, but I'm not too familiar with the team just yet. I know these two here both go out and bust their butt every day, and they're leading very well, and I'm really excited to see what they can do.
It's obviously going to be a transition for you and an adjustment. And how much are you going to lean on the players for information, and how much are you going to just kind of take the bull by the horns and just say, hey, we're just going to go with this at this particular point and see how it works out?
I think it's a give and take. I've always felt that coaching and the team, that it's definitely a relationship that you have to cooperate on. You can't just enforce something that they don't agree with because it's just not going to work. So I definitely think it's a little bit of both. Sometimes I'll make a call, but I definitely want to take in what they're thinking and consider that.
Give us an analysis of Kimmy's play, what she's going to bring as far as where you think she's going to slot in, and how she's going to help your team win some games, especially in that very tough Northwest Crossroads Conference.
Well, I mean, we don't have anything too specific yet. We're still kind of just playing and evaluating what's going on, but she's definitely someone who's out there and is working hard, and I can see that she gets along with everybody and is able to communicate well. So I think that she really is taking a strong lead right now, and it's good to see, and I really believe she'll be able to make an impact.
Now, I know in talking with former players that have become coaches, it can be a very difficult adjustment because you're used to going all out all the time, especially when you get to a situation where you become a coach. Obviously, the people in the administration have respected you, respected your work ethic to get to that particular point. So how difficult is it to kind of move away from that personal mindset and kind of get yourself more into the mind of the student athlete?
It's a little tricky. It's different being on this side of it. The athletic staff has been really great with this transition, so I really appreciate that from them.
Well, Patty McCormick's one of the best.
She's the greatest.
No doubt about that. Yeah, no doubt about that. Well, congratulations on the position here. I know it was kind of a last-second thing. We literally got the note here before the interview. But Kimmy, along with Melissa, we want to thank you very much for taking the time. Best of luck in the transition, and best of luck in this season. We really appreciate you taking the time. Thank you very much. The Lowell Red Devils joining us here. That was Melissa McBride. She's a first-team All-Conference Defensive Player of the Year. Kimmy Kasparian joining us as well. Multiple sport athletes, soccer as well as track for the Lowell Red Devils. They culminated that season of 6-12-1 on the campaign. And once again, as we're going to bring in the LaPorte Slicers right now from the Duneland Athletic Conference, and Chris Burrish is going to be joining us. We want to again thank the great folks over at Calumet College of St. Joseph's for all their support. Go ahead and throw that on, Coach, and the two guys can share the other microphone. Again, we want to thank Peter Hayes Herring and the folks over at Calumet College of St. Joseph's. 18 athletic programs there. You can check them all out on the website at crimsonwaveathletics.com. Calumet College of St. Joseph is your university of choice and the region home for Crimson Wave Athletics. Men's and women's soccer, cross country, volleyball, and CCSJ's nationally ranked bowling teams will be in full action during the fall season. Follow all 18 of their athletics at crimsonwaveathletics.com. We're going to move over to LaPorte County now. We're going to bring on Chris Burrish, the head coach of the LaPorte Slicers. 9-5-3 season last year, 3 very tough Duneland Athletic Conference coach, a loss to St. Joe in the sectional to start off the tournament. But give us an overall analysis of last season, a season that was very successful for you and the Slicers.
It went really well. We started off pretty hot, did some nice things throughout the course of the season. We play in the Duneland. It's a tough conference, so we don't get. And our season doesn't exactly start off with any cupcakes. We go Hanover Central followed by Valpo, so that's what we get to start the season
Mike,
off.
that's pretty tough.
Yes, it is.
So we're looking at the same thing this year. Last year, the guys were really on point at the beginning of the season. We struggled right at the end. We might have hit our peak a little bit early. We only gave up 11 goals in the first 15 games, so we were doing pretty well in the back, and then just some mental issues towards the end of the season, and an unfortunate way to go out. But, our guys learned from it that are part of the program this year, so we'll hopefully have a better end this year.
5 student athletes move on to the next level. Nick Tobar, Josh Aaron, Tyler Kuzdas, Richard Martinez, Michael Gazdick going to DePaul, Bethel, Manchester, Ancilla, and Manchester respectively. That's got to really make you feel, as well as your assistant coach, feel great that they are able to go to the next level, whether it be playing soccer or studying academically.
Yeah, I'm very proud of the reputation our program has with sending guys onto college that succeed in college, sending guys onto the armed services. We always end up, it seems like every other year, we've got several that enlist and that serve in that way. But we don't see, and then a lot of guys that get involved in the community, they're either working right off the bat and have something lined up. But it's nice to see, and it's nice to see that these kids progress beyond the soccer field and that they understand there's more to life, and our programs contributed to them contributing to the society.
Striker position is always a key thing that has to be replaced, and the replacement obviously of Josh Aaron and his ability to put the ball in the net for you. I know you got another Aaron coming up through the pipeline, but talk about his loss as well as what you're going to have to do to pick up that slack offensively.
Josh was a dynamic player, did a lot over his 4 years. It'll be tough to replace him, but just like the year before, we lost another kid who's playing at Bethel, and Zach McCoy, and our guys stepped up and replaced him well, and so just kind of next man up. That's the mentality of our program. Is somebody goes off, hey, we got to fill the spot. Some guy gets injured, that's a stud, we put the next guy in, and he's got to perform, and over the last 3-4 years, guys have really answered the bell.
I've got a question for you. Next year, the football team is going to be playing on field turf.
Mm-hmm.
Will the soccer team be playing on the same field turf, or will you continue to play at Kiwanis Park?
I believe we'll continue to play at Kiwanis. The field turf is nice, but with having only the one facility might make it. I don't think anything has definitively been decided. However, I also know that we'll probably get a chance to train on it every once in a while, but I think that facility may be occupied a little bit more with football.
Okay.
Jake Lindsay, along with Carter Huber, are going to be joining us here. And, Coach, briefly describe what they bring to the pitch. Obviously, these are 2 young men that you thought of enough to bring out to the show today. So talk about their leadership ability as well as their skills on the pitch.
Well, as far as leadership goes, these 2 gentlemen are 2 of the 3 that were voted in as our captains this year. Jacob's a senior this year. He's our speaking captain. He started varsity, I think, all last year as a holding midfielder, and he's playing a few different positions for us this year. He's his fourth year in the program, one of 3 seniors we have in our program this year, which for a coach is kind of bittersweet. We had about 50 kids come out to the program, and to only have 3 of them means, wow, we got a lot of young guys that are really hungry. And Jake has provided a lot last year, a lot of leadership, a lot of intensity, a lot of skill, and so we're thankful to have him back. And as far as Carter goes, he's our keeper. As a sophomore, started varsity last year, did a really dynamic job in the back, especially since in the back we had 1 senior and then 2 sophomores, and
Wow.
we had 3 in the back, and that was our back line. And for us to give up as few goals as we did last year was pretty impressive. Carter had some really nice saves, grew a lot over the last year, and we're excited to come back. And then our other captain, who's not here today, Josh McCoy, he kind of anchored our central midfield position all last year. Unfortunately, he went out 20 seconds into our sectional game with St. Joe, and that hurt us quite a bit. But he provides a lot of leadership. He's a very cerebral person, and so breaking down teams, getting nice through balls, good passes in. He's also works really hard in there. So we're really thankful to have those 3 this year.
We're going to bring on Jake Lindsay right now, so pick up the microphone there, Jake. And Dave, we've got our first official slacker in the classroom here.
Uh-oh.
4.0 rated first in his class.
Does he know that it took me 2 years to get that?
Well, I want to let him know that if you add all my 4 years together,
right,
I get the 4.0. So I want to make sure that he's proud of that fact. But anyway, Jake, congratulations on a great job, buddy. I mean,
don't believe him.
That is fantastic. How do you balance everything? I know Coach is very demanding on your time. He wants excellence on the pitch. He obviously wants you to do well in the class as well. So how do you balance that juggling act?
I mean, it's not really. I really don't see it too big of a challenge to me. I mean, it kind of just comes naturally. I mean, juggling work and soccer and schooling, I don't know, it's not too big of a deal. It just kind of happens. So.
The captain's designation that Coach and your teammates have bestowed on you this year, touch base on that. Are you a guy that welcomes that particular type of attention and responsibility? Some people shy away from that. They'd rather just play their game and do their own thing. But obviously, Coach has seen some leadership skills that you've been able to impart on some of the younger kids.
I definitely welcome the leadership for it. I'm not too hard of a captain. I like to, joke around with the guys, but, we still need to get our work done and practice as a team, right? So
don't let him fool you. He's one of the most intense guys out there.
So is it difficult sometimes to just have fun as a student athlete these days?
No, I mean, not really. I still, like to have fun with my friends and.
Exactly. I mean, as far as playing the game and enjoying it and that kind of thing.
I guess what he's asking is once practice and the game is over, and let's talk about a game. It's a tough game, and let's say that you lose, and it's a tough game, and you think of all the what ifs. Can you leave the game on the field and go home and just enjoy life?
Yeah, and I mean, my past experiences. I mean, I don't like losing. No one likes losing, but I don't take it to heart. I'm one of the guys that wants to get back out there and prove that, we can do better, and there's mistakes, but we got to fix them, and it's.
Jake passed the microphone over to one of the top goalkeepers in Northwest Indiana this season, Carter Huber. 106 saves last year, a 1.31 goals against average. Carter, congratulations on the great year last year. And give us a thumbnail sketch on the back line. There's obviously changes each and every year with the outside defenders and your stopper and sweeper, and how you see things shaping up for the Slicers this year.
We're looking really solid. We've got 2 kids that came in this year that are going to be starting. Casey Cornett and Colton Tanber playing outside and center back, and they've really matured over the preseason, and they're looking really solid. And then we're getting one returner in Joe McLennan, who's really kept it together, and it looks like Jake Lindsay's going to be playing left back, he's really experienced. Everyone's meshing well, and it's just going to be continual trying to keep everyone together and working hard, but it's looking really well to start the season.
Give the fans out there an idea of what it's like, how important it is to communicate with your back line out there and how you go about doing that. There's a lot of things that people in the stands don't see that's going on in that defensive third.
Yeah, it's huge. Obviously, the less saves I have to make, or the less chances we can give the team is better for me. So talking with the whole defense and everyone being on the same page is huge. Trying to keep the other team from getting shots off and denying opportunities. So that's a really big deal, trying for me to communicate and giving the other team less chances to keep everyone on the same page.
Now, Coach always talks about the early schedule. It's always very difficult for you guys non-conference-wise. That can be a double-edged sword, don't you think? Because, I mean, you want to do well and get the record good, but you know that sometimes you're going to have some hard-fought losses early in the season.
Yeah, and I think it's keeping morale and confidence up. If we do lose last season, we had a pretty solid start, an early loss to Valpo, but it's a good beginning. I'd much rather start with tough teams with a challenge and that prepare us for the rest of the season.
Well, Coach, those are terrific two young men that you got in this particular program. Continued success to the Slicers. I know that you've got, as we mentioned, challenges throughout the Duneland this particular season. As you mentioned, opening up at the Blue Blazers from Elkhart and then home against Valparaiso before settling into the Duneland schedule. So stay healthy, guys. Continued success in the classroom, and thanks for taking the time to come out.
Well, certainly. Thank you.
Appreciate it very much. Chris Burris, always a pleasure visiting with him. Always does a great job with keeping us abreast of what's going on with the Slicers. Carter Huber, their goalkeeper, along with Jake Lindsay.
Why is it that every year when we do this show and we get student athletes that have GPAs over 4, and we always ask them, how difficult is it to mix athletics with being in the classroom? And almost all of them say that they have no problems because they find time.
Mm-hmm.
It happens every year.
They just make the time.
Exactly.
It's time management, and also I firmly believe that athletics is really the key.
Yeah.
Keeps your mind sharp and focused, keeps you moving in a positive direction, and there's no question about that.
And it's a great teacher of life because things aren't going to go your way all the time.
You got that right.
We'll leave that one go.
Before we get to the Hanover Central boys program, the Wildcats, we want to again thank JJ's Pizza Shack over in Valparaiso for taking the time and giving us an opportunity with the food that they brought out here for the student athletes. I am missing one of the Hanover Central pages here. So is that it?
How about this?
Okay, that'll work. So Dan Grunwald is going to join us here from Hanover Central. Coach, thanks very much. Go ahead and throw that microphone on right now, and we'll talk a little bit about the Wildcat soccer. Again, we want to thank JJ's. They are located in Valparaiso. Give them a call at 219-476-1616 for a delivery. Carry out and delivery is available in the local area. Their menu includes salads, seafood, ribs, and chicken dinners, as well as salads. As we mentioned, carry out and delivery is available. They offer a variety of great tasting pizza and, of course, the famous kitchen sink.
And they're located on Lincoln Way, about 1 mile west of the square. And everyone who knows anything about Valpo knows where the square is located.
Absolutely.
Even you know where the square is located.
Yes, I do.
Yes.
So let's bring on the Wildcats from Hanover Central High School right now. And Coach, 7-9 last year, 2-5 in the Northwest Indiana Soccer Conference. A lot of tough competition in that league. With, of course, Marquette coming up with that big win over Andrean in the sectional, and Wheeler advancing as well in the playoffs. So comment a little bit about the NWISC and how you see the conference shaping up this year.
Well, it's definitely going to be more competitive, the conference, than the PCC that we've been in.
Right.
I mean, it's just going to be very competitive. All the players are going to have to be ready to play each game. There's not going to be any given games. There's going to be no given games, so it's just going to be a lot tougher this year. And we're looking to, our goal is we want to try and finish in the top, try and get in the top tier of the conference.
Mm-hmm.
That's our goal. I mean, last year we were pretty much in the bottom of that conference, but this year we're looking to progress into that top tier.
The first obvious question, the effect on soccer with football. You got football coming in. There's only so many student athletes to go around. Are kids going to be playing both sports? You're going to be able to share athletes. Of course, this is just a JV season this year before varsity in 2014. But talk about the effect of football on football.
I guess. You know what? Actually, having the football program, I think it's going to be great. It's going to be great for just Hanover in general. I think more families are going to come to Hanover Central because to play sports.
Sure.
I mean, some families want to go to Andrean. Some want to stay by LC because they have football programs. But I think it's going to bring more families to Hanover Central. And also, we have new stands. We finally have stands, and we have a press box. So.
Well, don't tell that to Mike. He's there.
Yeah, well, good. Good.
We can come out
so,
anytime.
I mean,
No doubt about
the
that.
effects of having football has been positive, and I think it's going to be positive. We didn't really really lose that many players, and if kids are going to choose between football and soccer, and they choose soccer, that means they're soccer players. They're just not coming out to play. So we want soccer players. We just don't want guys coming out. It's not a leisure sport. We want soccer players. So I think it's going to be great.
8 graduating seniors from this team, so you had a big core of kids that moved on. Besides the 2 athletes here, Dylan Baker along with Alec Nurtout. Let's talk about maybe some of the other younger kids that have opened your eyes so far in the preseason that are going to be able to contribute to the Wildcats this year.
Well, our core of our team is it's going to be juniors. It's going to be juniors. We have Josh Fenthaden. He's a junior. Eric Einsbar. He's a junior. Alec Nurtout, he's a junior. Let's see who else we got there. We have Danny Grill, he's a sophomore. We're going to be very young. Our core is going to be young, but they played a lot of minutes last year. So I think the experience from last year is going to transition over to this year. I think it's going to be good.
Now, I talked before to the new coach over at Lowell, Gavlik, about being a former player and then becoming a head coach. And you've had an opportunity now to coach the team for a while, so you've had that transition. But how difficult is it to take yourself away from the personal mindset of a player and kind of put yourself in the shoes of these 2 young men as well as their teammates?
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, I think slowly getting the hang of it. But sometimes you're thinking, oh, why did they do that? Why didn't they turn this way with the ball? How come they're not making this run?
Exactly.
It's like, well, they don't have my mind. And but you just got to step back a little bit, and I think you just have to let them play, and they'll figure it out. Along with some instruction, they'll figure it out.
Now, these 2 young men are also doing a great job in the classroom as well for you. But
more slackers?
Yep, we got a 4.12 rated 4th and a 3.2 as well with an honor roll student here, and both Alec as well as Dylan. And touch base on them, Coach, individually, what they bring to your team, and how you feel they're going to help you be successful here in 2013.
All right, Alec Nurtout, he's a junior. Every day I don't have to tell him to work hard. I mean, he's the hardest worker on the team. I mean, every conditioning drill, he's always first. He's always first. And just like even when we're doing fundamentals, he's always out there working hard. He's doing them properly, and I think that's going to That's why he's the captain, and he's going to. I think that's going to transition over to other players, seeing him, and he sets a good example. So hopefully other players will catch on to the way he is, and he has 37 goals after 2 years. Not many people really know that he has 37 goals, and so we're looking for another big year out of him. And I mean, he's been all conference for the past 2 years, so he's been doing a great job.
And how about Dylan?
And Dylan Baker is a senior. He's been with us for the past 3 years, going on his 4th year, and he's again another hard worker. Last year he's just a team player. Last year he had to sacrifice a little bit. He played some defense. Normally plays forward or outside mid, but we need some help on defense, and he just took a different role last year. Hopefully this year we'll get him back up top and hopefully be scoring some more goals and get some assists. But no, both players do a tremendous job at practice, and that's why they're 2 of the captains of the team.
Alec, let's bring you on right now. As Coach mentioned, 37 goals in the last 2 years. Multiple sport athlete, also participating in basketball as well as track and field. Talk about the transition from one sport to the other and how that helps you stay in shape throughout the year, both physically and mentally.
Well, yeah, it's definitely not that easy because different sports test you in different areas. So, but it's a good because like track, builds up my speed and everything, and then basketball and soccer helps me with change of direction. So all three of them help me focus on different types of like running and all that.
Your junior class, obviously, coach is going to be putting a lot of emphasis as well as depending on you guys a lot. Talk about your teammates, who you think is going to step up and help you out from that class.
Oh yeah, all the juniors are great. There's a lot more team bonding than last year. We talk a lot more, and I think all of them are gonna step up. There's no individual that are gonna be superstars on them. So.
Let's pass the microphone over to Dylan Baker as well, all-conference honoree. What does that mean to you, Dylan, to get a designation like that in a very difficult conference to play in the Northwest Indiana Soccer Conference?
It's very honoring. It's great that my coach and other people can pick me out of my team to kind of show that I have leadership and I got what it takes.
Where does Coach have you lined up on the pitch this season, or is he kind of moving you around trying to figure out the pieces to the puzzle yet?
I think he's still definitely moving us around. I think he has me as forward right now, but we'll see what happens. We still have a lot to play, and he has a lot to learn about us.
What did you learn from going through the schedule last year? You guys were involved in a lot of tight games against some tough competition. Weren't quite over to get over the hump in some of those. What do you think is going to be the difference this year that will turn some of those losses into wins?
This year we have better mental attitude, which I think is really going to put us over the hump. Last year we did have some bad mental attitude. This year it's definitely going to change it around. I'm definitely going to have that change this year.
How important is that to put a tough loss behind you and then move forward to the next game? And not only how important is it, how difficult is that to do sometimes?
It is very difficult. You just have to learn how to do it. It happens all the time, but you got to move on and pump up your teammates for the next game, especially at the beginning of the game and at halftime too. So you got to pump up your teammates and show them what everyone has.
3 road games to start the season, Coach, with Rensselaer, Bishop Nolan, and Washington Township before you come home, and then you go on the road again. So 5 of the first 6 on the road. Going to be some early adjustments for this team.
I think we like playing on the road. We don't have the best field, so we actually like playing on the road.
Now, Mike, did you hear that? He likes playing on the road.
So we don't have the best field, so playing on the road, it doesn't bother us, and I think we're used to it. We had a lot of road games last year, so
sure.
I think all the guys, I think they like traveling together.
Well, thanks a lot, Coach. Appreciate your time.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys. Alec, Dylan, thanks very much. We appreciate it. To the Hanover Central Wildcats and that tough Northern Indiana, Northwest Indiana Soccer Conference joining us here. After that road stretch, they're going to be at home against Morgan Township. Of course, they also compete in the PCC as well. We again want to thank JJ's Pizza Shack over in Valparaiso. Give them a call for delivery as well as pickup at 219-476-1616. They have the famous kitchen sink over there, a great variety of great tasting pizza as well, sandwiches, seafood, rib, and chicken dinners, as well as salads over at JJ's Pizza Shack. Again, special thanks to Peter Hayes Herring along with Andy Marks and everybody over at Calumet College of St. Joseph's. They have the lowest tuition of any private college in Indiana. It offers traditional programs with flexible class schedules, accelerated programs to help adults earn their bachelor's degree in as little as 12 months, and master's programs specifically designed for working adults. Some classes are also offered at University Center in Portage. Make CCSJ your university of choice, 219-473-4215, or check them out on the web at ccsj.com.
The Vikings are in the house.
Yes, they are, and they're sailing the high seas
over
here
they ever.
To Hallmark Sports Club 2. And first of all, congratulations, Hall of Famer.
Oh,
thank you. Thank you, guys.
It didn't take them long to congratulate. But remember, I congratulated you back in the basketball season.
Yes, so you did, huh?
Yeah.
But don't forget this guy here. He's a Hall of Famer, too.
Oh, yeah.
Right next to me.
And he tells me that all the time.
He's a man.
Talk about the ceremony. We had a
Oh.
chance to see it a little bit. You had a chance to share it with us and stuff, and to have all your friends and close family there, and to be able to enter that elite group of people in this sport in the state of Indiana just really had to be a thrill for you.
Oh, it was unbelievable. And looking back, the first phone call they came in November, and I was inducted into High School Hall of Fame. But that was accomplishment. And really, to me, I don't do this because of accolades. I do this because I love these guys. I love the game. I still have passion for it. And then that was nice down in Indianapolis. Then the other phone call came in about now Indiana Hall of Fame. That's because they have now for the whole state. That was very emotional for me because they went back when I was a child. They evaluated from my childhood until now. They went on my wedding pictures and all of that. So it was emotional, but it was very exciting. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, and I really love the way you kind of went through your whole life history with everything and everything that happened in your youth as far as actually being just introduced to the game of soccer and finding out about your love of the sport, your passion for it, and then your transition from being a player to moving into the coaching ranks and doing that. I just thought it was very well done and really just epitomized what you're all about as a leader of young men here. And the old saying at Valparaiso, tradition never graduates, right?
Exactly. That's what we talked about yesterday. Seniors.
Where have I heard
yeah.
that before, Dan?
Well, it's in the big letters up there.
Yeah.
Mr. Paul Condry mentioned it too, and I think there is something there to not just as a cliche, but we really follow this. And these guys next to me are just example of what I'm talking about. So thank you for recognition like that. And like I said, it was very exciting for me, my family, and it was one of those most emotional speeches. Probably the longest speech I did in front of 1,000+ people there. Yeah.
Senior laden group last year that really came together, especially on the defensive end of things, and then you started to click a little bit more offensively. Just an exciting regional championship victory over there, and a great job by the goalkeeping as far as in the shootout to be able to get to that situation, and then going up against a very difficult Hamilton Southeastern team over at Warsaw in the semi-state. Give us an overall analysis of that senior group of young men, and now the other kids that have seen that level of success, that have that example set for them coming into 2013.
You can't really take the experience away. I mean, that's something that's really important. Being able to go to the tournament, finding out ups and downs. We had some leads and we lost some leads, and down the shootout, this guy's been there. So having those seniors set the tone down to the semi-state, I think will just help these guys who are just hungry to go back, and hopefully we'll go back a little bit further than we did last year. I miss those guys, but here with me, a couple of gentlemen here, they will tell you a little bit more about what Viking Pride is all about. But there are young men out there. This roster, we have 12 seniors that will get a job done, and 7 juniors. So we're looking forward to an exciting year.
Touch base on Andrew and Luke here, what they bring. Obviously, becoming a captain at Valparaiso High School is a privilege, and it's an honor for them, and something I'm sure that these two young men don't take very lightly.
Oh, I mean, they're just not leaders because of the track around their arm, identifying them as leaders. I put a lot of emphasis on them as lead on the field, off the field, in the classroom, help the young guys stay on the right track when I'm not there. So really, they're extension of coaching staff, both of them. So I'm proud to say that, and I put responsibility on them. Good students, athletes, students first.
Andrew Fletcher is going to join us right now, a 3.3 grade point average. So go ahead and pick up the microphone there, Andrew. And you were a part of that goaltending tandem along with Ethan Leonard in the back line that had 12 shutouts on the season going into the semi-state. And talk about the experience last year, Andrew, splitting the duties there with Ethan and going through all those exciting shootouts as well as the practices and preparing the team for playoffs.
Yeah, you just can't take things lightly going into each game. You have to try your hardest and do your best to just keep the other team on their toes and just shut them out.
What's your mental approach on the shootouts? It's an amazing part of a game. All the emphasis is on the keeper along with the shooter, 1v1. You're obviously looking for certain cues that you could possibly tip you off as far as where the ball is going, but talk about that aspect of the game and how you prepare for that situation when the game comes arise.
You just have to go in thinking positive and just have a high confidence level, and you got to look for the cues that they give off, and sometimes you don't read them, but sometimes you do, and you just have to save them.
How's things going in the back line now? You had the graduation of Tommy Billings along with Chase Holford, so that middle, that defense is going to have to be revamped with your stopper and your sweeper. How's that been coming along for you guys?
I think we have a solid back lineup. Some young guys stepped up, which is good. We still have a few seniors in the back, but everybody's just still learning and getting comfortable with where they are.
How's the preseason conditioning been going so far with Coach? At least it's been a little bit cooler, right?
It's tough, but it's working.
Very good. What's Luke going to have to do for you guys this year? Put the broadcaster's hat on right now. What do you analyze his game from the midfield? What do you think he's going to have to bring to the pitch for you?
He's just going to have to communicate a lot, just bring the young guys, get their heads straight, and just have a high confidence level.
Pass the microphone over to Luke Kovar right now. Luke doing a great job as well. National Honor Society with a 3.74 grade point average. Also a member of the German club as well as the History Club. And Luke, that midfield, you got 3 of the 4 guys coming back. You got Corey Fox and Caleb Neal. Isaac Withrow does move on from graduation. So touch base on the midfield, how you see things shaping up, and let us know, is Coach going to have you more in an offensive mid this year as he did last year?
I'm not sure where exactly I'll be. I think I'll be more at an offensive mid, but if I need to go back on defense, then I'll do so. I want to do what's best for the team. I think our midfield is looking pretty good this year. I think we have some really quick players that will really benefit us in the midfield. And I think everyone's comfortable where they are, so I'm feeling pretty confident.
What was it like to participate in that regional? I mean, that was a meat grinder, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, it was amazing. I can't really explain the experience. It was just something I'll remember for the rest of my life.
What did you learn from the semi-state loss?
That soccer can go either way. Even if you're the better team, sometimes you benefit from the, I don't know, just you don't get it's a game of luck. And sometimes it can go either way. So,
who is from your teammates has really opened your eyes? Some of the younger players that you've seen that say, "Boy, this is a young man that looks like he's going to really become a great future Viking."
Well, I'd have to say Nate Dawson. He made the team last year as a freshman, and he is an unbelievable sweeper. He's probably one of the best players on our team, and I have to give him a bunch of credit because he was definitely a huge part of our success last year.
I've got a question for you. With the great tradition that Valpo has over all these years, how difficult is it with the bullseye on your back for every game to get up for every game against, especially against teams that you know that you can beat?
I like to take it as a challenge. I like to set the bar high for myself. I have big expectations for myself, so if I make silly mistakes, I get really hard on myself. So I always do the best I can to make sure I can do everything I can to help benefit the team.
Great job, Luke, as well. And, Coach, give you a wrap-up now. I want to mention your assistant, Ted Cuson, the longtime JV coach, and give us an idea of what he brings to your program and how special it is that he's getting an opportunity to coach those kids before you get him in the varsity.
I think consistency in the coaching ranks is very important. I mean, we've been together over 20 years, and everybody thought, when his sons graduate, he will walk away, or my son graduate, will walk away. That's not what we're here for. We love these kids. We like to see development, and Ted is an old school guy. He gets kids working hard, no question about it. He's a no-nonsense guy. The kids respect him. And he's straightforward. I mean, we had a parent meeting last night. We identified our goals, and year round we meet with these guys, so he's involved, but he lays a foundation for success. So these young guys coming up, our players, they know how to work hard, and they know how to give every ounce of energy for the Viking pride there.
2 more wins to get to the number 300 over at Valparaiso. Continued success, Coach. Again, congratulations on the Hall of Fame, and we'll see you on the pitch this season.
Thank you very much, guys. Nice seeing you again. Hope to see you soon. Yeah, thank you.
Luke, Andrew, thanks very much for your time. We appreciate it, guys. The Valparaiso Vikings joining us here, and thank you very much for the fall schedule as well, Coach. Really appreciate that, and we hope to see them against the Chesterton Trojans coming up later on this particular season. I think you gave me the email. Yeah, thank you, Coach. Appreciate it very much. And, of course, Ted Cuson as well doing a great job for the Valparaiso Vikings. Once again, we want to thank the great folks over at Calumet College of St. Joseph's. They're going to be joining us later on in the program, closer to about 5 o'clock. Andy Marks does a really good job of getting the information over to us about the Crimson Wave athletic programs. You can check out all those athletic events on our website as well at rrsn.com. Dave, if you can hand me that real quick, that red bottle over there. I want to get a little bit of H2O before we bring on John Hutchins and the Brickies from Hobart High School. as you are watching the 19th annual preseason soccer show here on RRSN.com and Regional Radio Sports.
I was beginning to wonder when you were going to ask for some HTO. What if I just put it up here for you?
That sounds good.
Okay.
So we are going to bring in Coach Hutchins right now and the rookies from Hobart High School. And one of my favorite people of all time to talk soccer with, whether it's in the basketball court, in the hallways, in the off season, or whatever. And Coach, congratulations on getting the head job over at Hobart High School. And give us an idea how the preseason's been going for you so far in the Brickies.
First of all, thanks a lot, Mike, and I just want to thank you guys for everything you do for the area. You guys are awesome. This has been a great first week. We've put a lot of hours in. We've had meetings. The kids have responded really well. We got a great attitude going. It's been going good.
Well, a lot of experience, of course. High school boys for 13 years with the Millennium Soccer Club, as well as 9 years on the high school level and previous experience over at Wheeler. As you take a look at the program, taking over a program that has not had a lot of success in recent years, not without a lot of effort, but as you take a look at this group of kids, how do you change the mindset to try to get to a situation where you're expecting victory?
Well, first you bring in good people to help you. And I brought in a guy that's been coaching at Lowell and Millennium, and we've been friends for a long time. He knows a lot, and that's Don Decker.
Mm-hmm.
And so far, he's been fantastic. We've been having chalk talks, and he's better at explaining than I am, so I don't do that. I know what I want to say, so I feed off of that, and the kids are responding to him really well. And fortunately for me, I have a younger son that played, and he just finished his law degree, and he's going to help me this year.
Oh,
he's going to bring a lot of experience.
That's got to be cool
and
for
he's
you.
been out with the boys, and they like him a lot, and so he's going to help us. So I got some good help, and that's a big thing. And we're changing the attitude. The kids are we're getting a more positive response, and that's a start.
Well, you got a terrific facility over there at Hobart High School. You got a great athletic director in Bob Glover who does a terrific job over there. Let's take a look, first of all. You've got losses from all three of the major positions, Logan Allen, David Hans, along with Chris Allendorf, both at keeper, forward, and defender. Let's start, first of all, between the pipes. I would imagine it's probably been an open competition there to try to figure out who's going to be stopping that last line of defense.
Yeah, we have a kid named Satterfield that's going to be a sophomore, and we decided to work with a young man that's been playing field. He's a baseball player, KJ Haluska, and had some goalie trainers come in. I'm going to have some more goalie trainers come in, and Don Decker's real good with that, and he's real quick, and he's a quick learner, and it might work out, and Jake's going to have to just work harder.
Justin Olstead and Matt Plezak are going to join us here in a second, but before we join them, Coach, anybody else that's really opened your eyes up, some of the kids that you either were familiar with prior to coming to the program, or somebody that you've really opened your eyes up now that you've had a chance to sit down with the kids?
Well, we have 6 juniors that have 2 years of varsity experience, and they're all going to be key roles. And there's some sophomores, but Willie Paretto's probably the strongest, sophomore on this team. We're getting deep on the field, and that's huge. That's the first step.
Yeah, and obviously to be able to scrimmage and learn from your mistakes,
well,
that's obviously huge,
that's
right?
The other thing at Wheeler and Hobart. Since I've been there, we've only had like 25 or 26 kids. We got 32 kids coming out of the gate, so we don't have to move kids up and down, so we can actually do that kind of stuff.
That is great. That's going to be invaluable. What do Justin and Matt bring to the pitch here? Why were they selected to come out here?
Well, I'm not picking captains till before the first game. And I had a meeting.
Don't get your hopes up yet too early, guys.
And I had a meeting with the 6 juniors and Justin. The problem is all 7 of them can be captains, but we know I've only got a couple badges, so they're going to have to. And I told them if I only pick 2 or 3, the other ones are still going to be my captains. But, of course, Justin, since I've been at Hobart, he's my first 4-year player because I had him for JV. So, and I only have 1 senior returning that's played, and I got 3 new ones. But Justin, I brought him on here because he's been with me for 4 years, and he's becoming quite a leader. And Plezak's just got a lot of experience on the field. He's been playing a long time, and he's a very smart player.
Let's bring on Justin Olstead first of all. And Justin, some high praise there from coach and multiple sport athlete, and also most improved player last particular season. Talk about that progression. What do you feel were some of the areas that you did improve on that garnered you that recognition?
Oh, well, definitely it was ball control and touch, and definitely my endurance. Freshman and sophomore year, I didn't run very much, and coming into junior year, I joined track and long distance track, so I had a lot more endurance in the past year, so I could stay in the games longer. So that really helped me a lot.
You got a lot on your plate here with government, calculus, honors trigonometry, honors pre-calculus. Obviously, the mental aspect of the game is something you like to delve into. Touch base on the mental aspect of the game and how you think, as you analyze what's going on in the field, what the adjustments you can make with you and your teammates.
Oh, well, it's all a mental game. All yeah.
That's it, basically, right? And how's Coach been so far here in the early going? Transition, new coach, new program, new start, right?
Oh, well, so far I really like it. I've known him for all 4 of my years here, but so far I really like him as the new head coach. So far I've seen a lot of improvement with the team. Things are going to change from the past couple of years.
Give us an analysis of your teammate there, Matt. How do you analyze his game, and what does he bring to the table here? He's going to be coming up as a junior this particular season, and has got a lot of accolades so far.
Oh, well, Matt here, we've been friends for a while, and he has a lot of experience playing soccer. I know he's played a lot of like competitions, and he's just really good. He knows how to play the game. He knows how it's supposed to be played. He's just really smart when he goes out there and very aggressive.
Let's bring on Matt Plezak right now. Matt, you're doing the juggling act with 2 sports in the fall, with soccer and football. Give us an idea how in the world you handle that, both from the physical as well as the mental standpoint.
I'm not really sure how I do it.
You just do it, right?
This is my first year trying it out, so it's new for me. I'm going to see how it works. Hopefully I can go from one sport to the other and stay.
Coach has been pretty supportive of that endeavor.
Yep. So
what position do you play for football?
I just kick.
Yeah.
So that's not too bad then. No. You're not getting too much of the physical play there. But how's the preseason been for you? The adjustment, the new staff over there, and your guys' progression with your conditioning and getting ready to start talking about set pieces and things of that nature.
Well, first off, the preseason has been great. Our attitude has improved tremendously, and that's mostly what I think it's about, is that the kids really want to be there and they want to get better, which is a great thing. With conditioning, we condition a lot because that's all you do in soccer is you run. So it's been tough and it's hard, but all of our guys are great. They all get through it, and they know that it's just going to benefit them.
How wonderful an honor it is for you to be all-conference selection 2 times. What does that mean to you to be recognized by your peers in the Northwest Crossroads Conference?
It's a big honor. I'm so happy that I'm able to have something like that.
That's great. What about some of the other your classmates, especially fellow juniors and maybe some of the sophomores that have opened your eyes so far in the preseason?
Well, I think all of our juniors and the whole team really is it's a tremendous group of kids. We all really work together. We're all friends. We all know each other pretty well. We're good, doing better.
Well, the challenges, Coach, as we give you a wrap-up, are going to be definitely there in the Northwest Crossroads Conference. So you also got a non-conference game against Bishop Knoll. Andrean comes in as well as Portage. Hobart always plays a very difficult schedule in any sport. Bob wants to get out there and get you guys out against the best competition. So what would you define as a successful season this year for you and your kids?
My idea of a successful season would be as long as we compete every game.
Right.
Get the goals against down and let people know that we're out there. And I'm going to give my ups to Coach Bob Locke, because what he brought to the program was a lot of toughness. These kids play hard every game, and they're still doing that. And I attribute that to him.
That was one of the hallmarks of their program, no doubt about that, Coach. Great to see you again. We hope to see you on the pitch later on this month. We've got some plans to possibly get some bricky soccer on the air with the Booster Club's help. So congratulations, guys. Continued success, and we'll see you this fall.
Thank you so
Thanks
much.
a lot, John. Appreciate
Okay,
it very
no
much.
problem.
Coach John Hutchins of the Hobart Brickies has joined us here. First-year coach coming in, of course, knows these kids from before and now has an opportunity from a leadership role to take over that particular situation. We are here live at Hallmark Sports Club 2. Somewhere in this mess, I have a ad for Scott's facility here that I want to mention because they've got a lot of different things going on here. Him and Jason Kendera.
He
and
gave
the
it
rest
to
of the
me, and I
staff.
thought I gave it to you.
Yeah, oh, here it is.
There
it's
it is.
underneath, buried underneath here.
Like you said, it's among all your mess.
Hallmark Sports Club 2 is Northwest Indiana's home for indoor soccer and futsal. Hallmark offers winter leagues for you 7 to 14-year-old high school boys and girls in adult, open, and co-ed. Teams can register at the facility or on their website at www.hallmarksportsclubii.com. That's hallmarksportsclubii.com. They have high school and adult leagues beginning on October the 25th that weekend, which is the state finals weekend. Youth begins on November the 2nd, and futsal begins on November 9th. Now you ask, what is futsal?
Yeah, I was just going to ask you.
Futsal is non-contact soccer on a hard surface here at Hallmark, which has been here since 2005.
Not the parking lot.
The kids love it. It's a smaller ball. It's a harder ball. It's more for foot speed and endurance.
And they play in one of these two
on the hard surface.
On the hard
yeah.
surface.
So that's
wow.
futsal here at the Hallmark Sports Club 2. That's 8328 Colorado Street right here in Merrillville. You can join Hallmark on their Facebook page to be entered for frequent prize drawings, or you can give them a call at 219-947-2629. And we're going to bring on the Lady Bearcats from Wheeler High School. They're going to join us right now, coming off a banner season for the Bearcats. Made it all the way to the regional to take on those tough Argus Dragons out there on the road. We had a chance to talk with Brian Murray as well as his student athletes from last year during that particular run. And Coach, thanks very much for taking the time and coming out. And, boy, congratulations on a great year last year. Touch base on that 17-3 season and an undefeated season in the conference.
I'll tell you, I had one of those at Muncie Central, and to have the crew that we had coming in last year and put together what we did, really speaks volumes about the girls, their work ethic, and what we were able to accomplish. I mean, you win 17 games. I think we won 17 one time in Muncie. And it's just a special year. I mean, every time you lace them up, it's exciting to just go watch them play. And my job was really easy. We had a great mix of youth and senior leadership, and we really got it going. We were really frustrated with how, as you mentioned, the Argus final went, talking to you. And I think the girls are hungry to get back. I think, for us, it's trying to find an identity after losing the seniors. And I don't think that we fully understood what it'd be like to lose the crew that we did, and I personally didn't know the void that we're going to have to fill. But we're making strides this summer, and we play for the end of the year in October anyway.
Alexa Frasky along with Haley Lovison off the right side, and of course the big loss, Kim Moskovich between the pipes with a terrific goals against average going into that semi-state at 0.84. Multiple shutouts on the season as well. And Coach, you had mentioned that you went through the same situation down in Muncie. How big is that for the younger kids to see that level of success as they're in the younger part of their career, knowing that they are the team and the kids that are going to continue on that tradition?
Well, I think they, in some way, they're naive to it, in a way that they think that naturally this is just going to occur. Right. That we're going to win 17 games and we're going to win the sectional and we're going to go to the regional.
So what do you say to them?
Well, it's time to step up. Sometimes, when you look at some of our numbers, we had 5 kids who had 10 goals or more last year, and sometimes numbers are misleading. Alexa Fratsky's numbers are not misleading. I mean, her 18, 16, goals and assists roughly, she really stirred, she made us go. And people like Shannon and Christy really fed off of her energy, and we had great pieces. I mean, it was a special group. We have a lot back, but I think it's one of those things where when you're young, you think, well, this is how it's supposed to be. Everybody loses people, and everybody wants to get to where we were last year. And so we have a lot on our shoulder, but, I tell the girls, one day at a time, and we're going to see where we go. And like again, we're playing for down the road.
Got two quality student athletes with you here, and Shad and Eden, along with Christy Hansen, and we'll get to them here in a minute. But I guess the first question is, who is going to assume the role between the pipes here for Kim? Is it going to be kind of by committee here until you kind of sort things out? How's that going to work out?
Katie Spohr is going to come in and play. She's a freshman. She played with John Huffnagel's Tiger Club team this past spring, and they did well. They won a South Bend tournament. Like any freshman, we got a couple who could very well see significant minutes. Obviously, Katie between the pipes. But it's one of those things where she's still a freshman, even though she's had some success. She's raw. She's got a lot to learn. And we'll see how she goes. But as the year goes on, there's no question she's going to do better. And like you said, it's great to have these two, sitting next to me over here. To help that transition along the way, not only with Katie, but also with the younger players in the field.
Let's bring on Christy Hansen right now. She's a senior over here. Pick up the microphone, Christy. And 10th in your class with a 3.6 grade point average, a multiple sport athlete over at Wheeler High School. And Christy, talk about the back line. I guess the nice thing about this Bearcat team, you got everybody coming back in front of Katie. So talk about that experience of going through the disappointment in the regional and how you guys can continue on with the excellent tradition at Wheeler High School.
All right. I think the regionals really kind of is going to motivate us this year because we want to go far. But we did lose some seniors, and as our coach was saying, I don't know if our team has exactly realized like the loss that we have and how we need to work even harder than last year to get back to where we came from.
That's a great answer, Christy. And what was it like playing over at Argus? A lot of times players will talk about it's such a surreal experience. It happens so quickly. Things are happening around you, and then you get behind in the game early, which was obviously a disappointment. But what did you take from that experience that you could use as a positive for this year?
We definitely, I know they scored within like the first minute or so.
Right.
And I know that we definitely that set us back a lot. And I think this year what we're going to get out of that is just not underestimating your competition and staying like positive.
Put the broadcaster's cap on and let us know what Shannon Eden is like on the pitch to play with and what she brings to the table for the Bearcats.
First of all, it is Shannon's birthday. So
happy birthday, Shannon.
But please don't ask him to sing happy birthday.
No, that'll ruin the experience for you. So, happy birthday.
I think Shannon's definitely a strong player, and she's reliable. She knows how to communicate, and I think people feed off of like her energy on the field and off as well.
Bring on Shannon Eden right now. And Shannon, how's your off season been going for you so far?
It's going good. A lot of running for sure.
Conditioning is definitely something I know Coach emphasizes. You're going to, again, be part of a pretty experienced midfield with Haley, the only graduation off the right side. Talk about the midfield, how you see your role as far as getting that ball up to the top to Tara and whoever else is going to be up top at striker.
We've moved around the positions a lot, so we have even a freshman up there too, and we're kind of getting in the swing of things, like how we play off each other and how our runs are made, you could say.
Multiple sport athlete, also playing softball as well as basketball. How does that help you stay focused throughout the school year and balance everything with your academics as well?
It's definitely hard playing 3 sports, but I don't know, I just learned time management, so that's...
There it is again. Every kid that has a nice GPA who plays sports, multiple sports, and it always comes down to time management. How do you time manage when there's one practice after another, and when one season ends, another season begins?
I don't know. You'll be doing the homework on the bus or have late nights doing it, but other than that, just, I don't know, staying focused.
Well, you're a first-team all-conference player, Shannon, in soccer, as well as an all-area honorable mention. So you set the bar very high for yourself. What are some of the areas in your game that you've looked to improve on in the off-season that you can possibly improve on now as a junior?
I worked on feeding the ball up more to the forwards and looking for crossing the field. And then the runs that the wings could make for you, too.
How difficult is it going to be replacing the seniors that Coach Murray talked about?
Pretty difficult. They were very big assets to the team with Alexa and Haley being just fast as they come. So I mean, we have freshmen, they just got to step up.
Right, no doubt. Are you a person that likes to just show by example, or are you more verbal, kind of getting in somebody's mug if they're dogging a little bit out there?
Oh, Mike.
That would be both.
A little bit of both, huh?
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you this. Your soccer field and the football field as well over at Wheeler High School runs east and west. Is there any problems with the sun this time of the year or come September and October as it sets?
I don't think it's that big a problem.
She's never been in goal, though. But no, there's a little bit.
Yeah.
There's a little. And, if there's, depending, I mean, there's times we talk, can you handle the sun?
Yeah.
We always talk to Kim. Do you want to start on the other end? So,
Because
going east
that
west,
is a problem.
It is a little bit.
Yeah.
Field players don't see it to the same degree.
Right, exactly.
How do you see that tough Northwest Indiana Soccer Conference shaping up this year, Coach?
I'll tell you what, the team's lost a lot. I mean, across the board. So I really don't know what's coming in the conference. Boone lost, when you lose Page and you
Right.
they lose Starcevich, and you go down to Hanover and they lost, their two posts and those girls up top, and we lose Alexa. I mean, a lot of people lost. I guess at the end of the day, I don't really worry about what the others have done. I think what we've done with our young crew that's definitely helped us. We went to Indiana State for a team camp, and we got to play 3 games against other high school talent. We played Valpo. We scrimmaged them again this summer. So I've kind of taken the look that, I think our girls with the inexperience, we need experience, and we're going to play games. We've got good ones here. We got good pieces around, and, we're going to get to where we need to be. I just don't know how quick it's going to happen. So
Continued success, my friend.
Mike, thank you for covering us.
Thank you. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you,
really
Brian.
appreciate it. Continued success to you and the Wheeler Bearcats. Brian Murray joining us here along with Shannon Eden, as well as Christy Hansen. And coming off that terrific year last year, we see if they can continue that coming up here in 2013. Again, thanks to JJ's Pizza Shack for all their terrific support with feeding the student athletes over here. Also, thanks go out as well to Hallmark Sports Club 2, 8328 Colorado Street here in Merrillville, Indiana. Want to thank them for helping us here host the show again, which continuing the tradition that we had back over at Offside Soccer Shop over at Highland with Rich Signs back in the day. And now continuing here at Hallmark since 2005. We're going to bring on Gordon Walker, the head coach now of the Highland Trojans, is going to join us. And Gordon, great to see you again. And how's the summer been going for you and the Trojans?
It's been going well, Mike. It's been going well. Been a lot of fun. A lot of numbers out there. It's been a lot of fun this summer.
So talk about the new season. What you've been up to as far as, I would imagine, conditioning is obviously a big part of that, and the cooler weather, I'm sure, has helped out as far as being able to achieve that fitness level.
Yeah, we've been doing a lot of conditioning. We're going to try and run a new system this year. We're going to see how that works. Been working on that a lot. We've got a lot of girls that are buying into the system, and it's as I say, it's been fun to being around them. They're like sponges, and I really enjoyed being out there this year,
That's nice that they're absorbing everything that you're putting out there for you.
They are.
And your philosophy on that, and I think I've talked to you before about that, about taking a system and molding it to the skill level of your players, or else having a system in place and have the players adapt to that. And I would imagine here it's kind of a little bit of both. It's probably a hybrid for you.
Well, actually, this year, what it was, instead of me changing, trying to make these players fit to the system that I've played for years and years and years, it was like, let's just get the whole team playing something different. So we're trying something different. It seems to be pretty successful so far, but only the season will tell when that comes around. But
sure. As
I said, it's fun to watch them play. It's fun to watch them pick it up. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully this might work out. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully I won't be sat here next year 0-17 or something.
And, last year was obviously a transition year for you. You had, of course, all that veteran leadership from 2011 that had graduated, so really didn't have a lot of experience coming back last year. So touch base on that, the growing pains of going through the year in a tough conference, and what you and the kids learned during last season.
Well, that's high school soccer, sports in general, though, isn't it? But part of that is, as you just said there, I mean, we had a class of the 2012 where all their seniors played all the time. So it was basically lack of experience for these girls here. But one thing about last season that was there, I mean, it was very enjoyable to be around there, be around them. And what they've gone and done in the off season is go out there and play Premier ball and play club ball, and they've come back a lot better, maturer soccer players. So I'm actually kind of excited for this season.
And you've been around the game for quite a while now in Northwest Indiana, Gordon, and give us an analysis of the level of play as a general rule in Northwest Indiana as well as in the state of Indiana. You talk about the kids now, it's really kind of a year-round type of thing. Some of the kids are playing other sports besides soccer, but just your analysis of the overall level of play and how much work these kids put in, not only during the high school year, but throughout the year.
I think the level around here is fairly high, but the only time you really realize that is when you go down to Indianapolis, and for some reason it just like blows your mind. They seem to be light years ahead of us in some respects. The schools we've played down there, and I think if you ask any region coach about that, I think they'd all say the same. I mean, sometimes we're a long way away from what Indianapolis are playing, or even South Bend St. Joseph, you know what I'm saying? But in general around here, I think the product is very, very diluted around here, away from the high schools, and I think that's part of the problem.
Well, you've got, of course, a very tough conference schedule this season, and Courtney Carpenter along with Ann Kerber have joined us here, and give us an analysis of their game, why you brought them here. They got the honors, of course, of coming here and representing the program, what they bring to not only your program from a mental aspect, but as well as what they bring to the pitch.
They come here because they were captains last year. They've got terrific leadership skills. The girls look towards them and ask them, and, just in general they lead. And not only that, on the field, the way they play the game, they're dedicated to the game. They lead by example, et cetera, et cetera. So mainly because of them reasons, you know what I'm saying?
Let's bring on Anna Kerber right now. She's going to join us. And Anna, you're part of that back group for the Highland Trojans from last season, playing in front of Ashley Falcout and the senior with a couple shutouts on the year. She graduates now, so let us know about that back line. You got everybody back except for Rachel Gregory, and how you see things shaping up on the defensive end.
I think we're going to do actually really good this year. We have most of the same of the people that we had last year, so we've all improved a lot, so we should be really good.
What have you worked on specifically on the defensive end of things? As coach, have you moved around a little bit to try to kind of fit the pieces of the puzzle in this new system he's talking about?
Yeah, it's moved around, but not a whole lot. It's just a little bit different in the center, but I think it's a lot better this way.
Well, that's always good because the more comfort you are on the pitch, the better you're gonna perform. Touch base on the ISL Spring 2013 All Division team captain and what that means to you.
I play for on the off season. I play for Three Lions Club, and I got an award from them for we went to Kansas for a regionals thing. And I got the award from that.
Outstanding. That's a great honor.
Yeah.
No doubt about that.
Mm-hmm.
What was it like playing on a national level and playing against other competition from other parts of the country?
It's hard. It's a lot different than it is in high school.
What's different about it?
There's a lot more dedicated people.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot more intense.
Sure.
Yeah.
And that's gonna help you out coming up this season as well.
Oh yeah.
Talk about your teammate to your immediate left. What do you see her bringing to the pitch this year and helping you guys win some soccer matches?
She's a great player. She has a lot of leadership, so that's really good. She's good.
Well, let's bring on Courtney Carpenter as well, and doing a great job in the classroom as well with a 3.56, Courtney. And touch base on the midfield. That's going to be one of the strengths of this team, I think, with, of course, Paige Brown, another good player in the midfield. You got everybody coming back. So let's touch base on that midfield and how you see things shaping up.
I think with the midfield, we definitely have improved just within the summer. Obviously, there's more work to do, and with getting experience with playing soccer games, we're going to get better at the position, but I think we'll be definitely strong, hopefully pushing up the field and scoring some goals.
Well, congratulations on being an Indiana Soccer Coaches Association top team player.
Thank you.
It's an outstanding award, and what does that mean to you to be named a top team player?
I think it's awesome because I love when people look up to me, and I love showing leadership on the team, and it just makes me feel good that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and I'm, hopefully a role model to some of the younger players.
Also a team captain as well. talk about that responsibility. You're kind of like the quote-unquote coach on the field for Gordon over here whenever things are going well as when things aren't going so well. So touch base on that. What do you think your responsibilities are on the pitch this year?
I just think, well, even Anna and I, we just need to keep good communication within the team because this year especially, there's a lot of unity that we've kind of struggled with the last couple of years, and I think that's key with girls soccer because communication is key when it comes to girls. So I think that's big, and hopefully Anna and I are just going to be leaders out in the field and be good communicators with everyone else.
Name maybe a couple of the younger players that you've seen that have really opened up your eyes that you've say that really could step up and help you this year.
Right. There's a lot of good freshmen that came out this summer, and one in particular is Sierra Hinkle. She's definitely going to be a player to watch out for in the upcoming years of high school soccer. She's very impressive. She knows the game. I know she's played travel soccer before, so she has a good look on the game, and she'll be a great asset to the team this year.
Now, obviously, you've got the mental aspect of the game down. You've got other players as well, teammates. What are some of the traits that you see in soccer players that you admire?
Honestly, I think it's a big part of soccer is just getting along with who you're playing with, and I definitely notice girls that are out there that are having fun and aren't necessarily playing to win, but playing, just to have fun out there as a team to like create memories because high school obviously to be successful, but you need to have fun while you're doing it.
Yeah, exactly. Enjoy the game, right? Absolutely. Well, you got two great captains here, Coach, well-spoken young ladies that are representing the program here, and you got some challenges again this season, of course, in the NC and opening up on the road Crown Point, as well as Andrain and Merrillville and Lake Central. So
real easy schedule.
The team's going to be tested tough, I'd imagine.
Ain't it? Crown Point's always a good one to start with.
Thanks again, Gordon.
Right,
appreciate everything, and thank you very much, ladies, for your time. We really appreciate it. Gordon Walker from the Highland Trojans is joining us here, and Gordon doing a terrific job with that program. Got that program state over at Valparaiso School, and we wish him, Trojans, continued success. Before we bring on the Merrillville Pirates girls pro, again, we want to thank great folks over at College of St. They have the lowest tuition of any private college in Indiana. They offer accessible classes, accelerated programs to help adults earn their bachelor's degree in as little as 12 months, and master's programs specifically designed for working adults. Some classes are also offered at University Center in Portage. Make CCSJ your university of choice. For more information, give them a call at 219-473-4215 or check them out on the web at ccsj.com. We're going to move up to Broadway, up to Merrillville High School, the home of the Purple Gang here, and Ben Daniel's going to join us.
All the way up to Broadway?
Well, we got a reunion of sorts here now. We got Jason Kendera over here, we got Brian Past, and now we got Ben Daniel. How you doing, Coach?
Good. How are you?
Good. Thanks for taking the time and coming out. We greatly appreciate it. And another season last year, again, getting the program moving in a positive direction, especially in that Duneland Athletic Conference. We've talked about signature wins before. They were definitely a part of the program the last couple years. So how are things going with the numbers and the gradual improvement over at Merrillville High School?
As far as numbers go, we're pretty good. We don't have the numbers as some other schools do, but we had about 35 to 40 tryout. And we kept just about everybody. As far as the improvement goes, I feel like every year I'm here, I'm saying, this is going to be our best year, and I really believe that again. And so, with what I've seen so far, what we've done so far in practice, everybody's on. It looks like it's not where if I need to sub somebody anymore, I don't really have somebody to put in there. I've got 15, 16 players on varsity that can move in any position that I need them to at any given time. So it's really nice.
I know you mentioned on the questionnaire a couple years ago that for the first time in many years you really had no idea who you're going to put out there because there was so much competition going on. Talk about how huge that going to a season with that mindset, as well as to have numbers to screw the other in find out what you're doing wrong in practice?
When we in practice, an example, our defenders fighting for 4 spots right now, and we tell them go harder because you're just going to make each other better. But at the same time, you might beat somebody out, and it is nice to be able to have that mix where now instead of always practicing against maybe scrimmaging against our JV, now we can split up the varsity because we do have the numbers and we can go a small sided game against varsity. So
12 freshmen were on the roster last year, 7 sophomores on the rosters last year, and of course you got a new crop of freshmen coming in. Besides the 3 young ladies that you brought out here today, who else has been opening eyes in the preseason?
These 3 ladies here are 3 of our captains. We also have Samantha Croy, who's a sophomore. She will be a captain for us as well. She was injured last year, but she's really up this year. Both vocally and her skills and so much. Little sister Elizabeth, she'll be a freshman this year. She's the only freshman that made varsity. She will contribute. She's one of those players that we know we can stick in any position on the field, and she is years beyond her skill right now because of the way she moves and the way she sees the field. It's incredible.
Well, speaking of experience by her years, Bailey obviously was for you in between the past year. Her progress as well as the back line.
Unfortunately, a couple games into the season last year with I think it was a broken wrist, and we had to go with Megan Clarkson in goal all year. Alyssa, if we're healthy, it's definitely and a little skill level, and then we can have Megan Clarkson actually on the field where she belongs. If Alyssa stays healthy and the back 4 that we have, I believe that we're going to be one of the toughest in the area. Again, that's as long as everybody's
knock on wood, no doubt about that.
We actually have, for once, a backup goalie this year who will be playing JV, but then be on the varsity bench. So it's not like we've had in the past where we've had to get somebody has gotten injured and we've just had to throw a field player in there who has no clue what's going on.
Sure.
So we were fortunate with Megan she has some goalie background, but not like we do this year where we have an actual backup goalie on varsity.
Introduce the 3 young ladies to your immediate right here, and what do you see them bringing to the pitch and helping the Pirates in that tough DAC?
Right here next to me, I've got Hannah Dixon. She is one of our 3 midfielders that we will have. She's been here for 4 years, second year of captain. Again, just a overall dominant player on the field for us and sees the field very well. Very good leader. AJ Marquez was injured last year over here all the way on the right. Injured last year, has come back fully recovered, and doesn't even look like she missed a step at all. And she was a captain her sophomore year. And then I have Shakita Diller. At Merrillville, does basketball, does soccer. This girl is constantly doing stuff. I mean, she goes right from basketball practice to soccer practice in the summer, and just one of the hardest workers I've ever seen. And she's really stepped up from the time she was a freshman to really develop her game and learn the game and get her skills to where they.
Let's move from to left first hand if you want to pass the phone over to Adrian Marquez. And first of all, let's talk about the injury and coming back from that, and how difficult is it to get your cardio level back up to where it needs to be, and also the mental aspect of overcoming that situation?
Personally, I think it's more of who you are inside. It's more of a motivation kind of thing, because if you don't have the initiative to better yourself as a player and like get yourself back up there, it's going to be really hard. But I feel like I've taken the time to actually think about what I've wanted for my soccer career, and I think I'm ready to come back, and I'm actually coming back strong. I feel like I'm better. I have a better mentality about everything, and I'm just feeling great.
Certainly makes you appreciate what you had before, right?
Yes.
No doubt about that. What did you learn from watching the game?
I think overall that playing is more of a privilege, not just playing just a sport. It's something that you can actually have something to do. Before, I really took soccer for granted because I could play it whenever I wanted. I've been playing since I was in first grade, and seriously, sitting out the last season, it made me appreciate what I have now.
So it's more than just running up and down the field.
Of course.
Which a lot of people say, oh, hey, all they do is run up into the field and now kick the ball into the goal. It's a little more than that, isn't it?
It is, no doubt about
Yeah.
that. MVP for 2 years in 2000 and 2011 for Adrian, and also captain for 3 years. What does it mean to you to be named a captain of the team and being your peers?
Ever since my sophomore year, I was named captain, and I felt like I wasn't respected the same because I was younger. I was always been like the younger player, but now that I have the opportunity to actually motivate others because they now look up to me because I'm actually like a senior now.
Right.
I feel like I'm very excited to actually get others out.
Back to your Willard is going to we're going to out here, and
Real.
Multiple sport athletes, soccer, basketball, track, moving from one to the other. How difficult is that, and how does that help you, come fall season?
Well, typical because you go from running up and down the basketball court and then go to a bigger, way bigger field, and it's more about stamina and endurance and having teammates motivate you to keep it going and not just give up all the time. But it's pretty hard.
What's AP dual credit all about? What is that?
AP class. I've been in AP classes and did dual credit my junior and going into my senior year
Right. So just trying to kind of get ready for the
for
next
college.
academic phase in your life. No doubt about that. How about being a freshman mentor?
Ooh.
What does that mean to you?
Well, being a freshman mentor, freshmen get teased a lot, and
Sure.
I feel like since I've been teased, I can help. Well, I've been teased a lot, but I can help them help better themselves and not just take everything like to the heart, because
Right.
people tease and people play with it, and you got to sometimes know when they're playing and when they're not, and when they're not, well, you got to just sometimes tell them, knock it off.
Sure. Well,
So
good
I
for
like
you.
being that person.
It's great for you to give back to the younger kids, no doubt. Let's bring in Hannah as well right now. Hannah doing a terrific job as well. All these student athletes, by the way, 3.67, 3.7, 3.67 GPA. So for all those out watching out there, a great example that these kids are setting. Hannah also a 2-year captain involved with AP Literature, U.S. History, as well as Biology, and also in student government. And Hannah, talk about competing in the Duneland Athletic Conference, how difficult that is. Every time in the conference schedule, it's always going to be a tough go for you and the Pirates. And what is it like to play that level of competition, as well as the tough non-conference schedule you guys participate in?
Yeah, it's tough, but I mean, we're not going to go in thinking that we're going to lose just because it's a tough team.
Mm-hmm.
We always go in with the mentality that, hey, we can hang with these people, even though their schedule may be, or their record may be better than ours, or they may have better players individually. We're a team, and we work together to get through it.
What's it been like to see the progression of the program that coach has brought here the last 4 years for you as a senior now?
There's definitely a big difference from my senior season to my freshman season, and just how much we've come together as a team to work through everything, and how much better we've gotten is amazing.
What are some of your personal goals now as you wrap up your high school career?
Definitely to score more goals, even though I'll be playing more of a defensive position this year. It's always in my mind to score goals, and just to work hard as a team and come out with the best record that we can.
There's always those set pieces, right?
Oh, yeah.
Those are always big. Ben, give you a wrap up right now. The challenges are going to be there again for this particular squad. You open up in the Duneland against Portage and LaPorte. Then you host Highland, always a difficult task, and then go on the road to Wheeler as well as Chesterton and Kankakee Valley. Talk about the schedule, talk about this group of kids and your expectations.
Our schedule's always tough. Just being in the DAC, it always brings different challenges every time. We could beat Portage one year, and then the next year they could beat us. LaPorte, same way. Michigan City's always got an interesting squad. And then you've got Chesterton, Valpo, Lake Central, and Crown Point, who just seem to never have a down year.
Right.
And I believe that the squad that we have this year can definitely. I'm not going to say win those games, but I don't foresee those big 10-0 games and things
Sure.
like that where we've had in the past. And I think we will shock a couple teams this year. The way they've been working this summer, and the positive attitude that has been at practice this week, I think everybody's on the same page. So we're ready to go.
Thanks for everything you do for positively promoting your kids, Ben.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it. Thanks, ladies, for your time.
Thank you, guys.
The Merrillville Pirates have joined us here on our preseason soccer show, 19th annual installment here at Hallmark Sports Club 2. Ben Daniel now in his 6th season over at Merrillville High School, and he's really done a great job with that program, Dave, because when he took over there, things were down.
That's the same Coach Daniel that played for Brian Pass, isn't it?
Along with this guy right over here.
Yeah, jeez.
Yeah, what a team that was. What a great job they did.
We're still talking about that team.
Oh, yeah. Remember Martin Cole?
Oh, yeah.
And there was a guy named Van Gaal that may have had a little bit to do with that,
exactly.
too. And he's also
but
one
it's great
of our,
to see them coming back.
Yeah, and
and
also
putting back into the program.
Also, Van Gaal, of course, a big part of what we do at Millennium Soccer Club with our soccer coverage as well. So
hey, our ratings are going up. Look who's in the house.
You know, we've just had 500 hits on our website because Brian Pass, the head coach of the Merrillville Pirates, is joining us, and complete with fresh questionnaire off the presses.
Hey, I've got to ask him real quick. What's it going to take to keep you away from working the state finals with this guy?
Well,
to have you know what I mean? To have you down there.
Hey, my first choice is only one. Choice one is to be down there, but if I can't be down there, 1A is to be.
Well, the ratings always go up.
Hey, you always want to be with the Hall of Fame. Okay. I was fortunate enough. I got at the Chicago Sports Show. I got to meet my coaching idol, Tommy Lasorda.
Tommy Lasorda.
I get to be by 2 Hall of Famers in 2
Wow.
That had to be interesting. Meeting Tommy Lasorda.
It was awesome. I got a picture with him. It was great.
Talk about a positive individual and a leader of men as far as taking teams that nobody really thought had a chance to do well and to end up in the World Series and to do well.
I grew up a Dodger fan, so it was
a Dodger
even more
fan?
special for you.
It was a boyhood fantasy fulfilled. I'll tell you that much.
No doubt about that. How's the summer been going for you, Coach, and the Pirates?
I tell you what, we've had a fantastic summer. We really take full stride of the HSA rules during the summer. That basically, except for the 1.5 weeks, as far as you're not allowed to do anything. Every other week we were doing something. We were having practices regularly all through the week, and then I went to 2 tournaments. One down in Lafayette, Jeff, at the end of June. Played some great teams. Played Pike. Played McCutcheon. Played a couple other teams. I played Griffith down there too, which was kind of nice because they're not on our schedule. And then went to Summer Showcase. There's Ron right there.
Yes,
We
he
got
is.
to play him. So, and then went down to a Summer Showcase end of July. Played some teams. We played New Palestine down there. And we played Delta down there. We ended up having to play Pike again. But you play a top level team like that was good. And then for a week, right after the moratorium week, we end up going to IPFW, and we spent a week there. Mike Harper has done a great job. He's a coach up there, and about 5 or 6 teams come in. So we play them during the week. Teams out of Indy. Lawrence Central is there, McCutcheon's there, Harrison High School is there. Then at night we play against Fort Wayne area teams. So we play Fort Wayne Southside. We played Bishop Luers, who was a great 1A team last year. And then we played Fort Wayne Snyder, who used to be on our schedule, not anymore. So it
sounds like a busy summer, Coach.
It's been a real busy summer. Then, on top of that, throw in a couple scrimmage games against Hobart, Highland, and Wheeler. So
nothing else going on.
So yeah, as I said, it was great. We graduated 16 seniors last year, and so we knew we were a young team, and I knew that the big thing was to try and build up some chemistry, cohesiveness, and so we got a lot of guys. We were averaging at least 25 guys throughout the summer, and playing out there, and now we're up to 34 for the season.
Brian, I'm taking a look at your schedule, and I'm looking for one game in particular, and I found it. September 29th.
No, that's last year.
That's last year.
You know what? And I'll tell you what, that we always used to play Canterbury. One of the things that we were looking at is we've always like to try to schedule everyone that's in our sectional
Sure.
during the regular season, and we didn't have Lowell on our schedule. And with Fort Wayne Canterbury, Coach Mock's a great friend of mine, and it was probably the toughest thing I've had to do in my 17 years at Merrillville was to kind of decide to drop them and pick up Lowell because he's such a great friend. But it was just kind of things just with distance, and also, I mean, they're such a high caliber team, and we knew we wanted to get Lowell in, so we had to see him, and it was really tough to drop anyone else off our schedule. So
Well, that is tough because
yeah.
it's always little old Canterbury.
Oh yeah. We only have 200 kids, but
yeah, but they're there every year.
Oh yeah, they're top. Their whole team ends up going in Indiana University to play. But no, Greg does a great job, and they're in for they've won the state championship the last 2 years in 1A, and now they move up to 2A, and something tells me that if I happen to be down there with you again, we may be announcing their game again. So.
The train rolls down the track, no doubt about that. Let's touch base first of all. Obviously, between the pipes, things are in good hands with Bradley Brack over here, 3.6 grade point average. Analyze his game between the pipes and what he brings to this Pirate program as a junior.
Oh, I'll tell you what, he had some large shoes to fill because his older brother Brandon played for me, and his older brother, great goalkeeper. He's playing out as a starting goalkeeper for the University of St. Francis out in Fort Wayne. And but I'll tell you what, Bradley, and I told Brandon this to his face, but Bradley is ahead of where Brandon was the start of his junior year. And just Bradley had an awesome summer for us. Actually, out at IPFW, they had several different coaches there that already are kind of eyeing him and asking about him. But I'll tell you what, that's the one guy I knew coming back. Graduating everyone we did, I had a question mark at almost every position except for the goalkeeper. And I'll tell you what, I think Bradley's been, up until now, maybe the best kept secret in the region. And after this year, he won't be a secret anymore.
Meanwhile, one of the few seniors, Ryan Soto, is also going to join us as well, and also a member doing a great job with advanced language as well. And touch base on Ryan being one of the senior leaders on this team.
I'll tell you what, Ryan's going to be one of our captains, and he and I have talked. Ryan has what I call a very high soccer IQ. He understands the game very well. And one of the things we've talked about is, for him, it's tough because he was a varsity guy last year, junior, had all these seniors around him who, and he worked with Luis Sanchez and Miguel Lagunas, Jacob Partis, all these other guys that, had high soccer IQs. And so some of these younger guys, Ryan's looking for a give and go, and he gives and doesn't get the go back. And, it's a little bit frustrating, but he's been doing a great job of really working with the younger guys instead of getting upset with them, really kind of talking with them, say, hey, this is what, I want you to do, get the ball at my feet and such. And so I'll tell you, he's going to be a great leader for us this year and really bringing along these juniors that he's going to be playing with.
Let's bring on the captain right now, Ryan Soto. And Ryan, talk about that strenuous off season here. Coach has had you guys playing a lot of different competition all across the state, even some of the teams that you're not going to play on the schedule in Northwest Indiana. What's that experience been like, traveling and then playing games back to back?
Well, the traveling kind of got to our heads a little bit. We had to get there early in the morning, wake up, play a team that had an hour or two more sleep than we did because we had to travel. But the competition was a lot. I mean, we played a lot of Fort Wayne teams are always good. Indiana team or Indy teams are really good too. The competitions really showed us what we need to work on, showed our flaws, showed what needs to be exploited against other teams. It's been a hard summer.
What did you learn from the group of kids? You had a large senior class graduate, and as you observed them both with their actions as well as their words, what did you learn from that group of kids that you can take into your senior season?
It's the chemistry the team has is really important. A lot of the juniors, the majority of the team is juniors this year, and they've all been playing together for a really long time. But we still have to work with the chemistry, know the players better, know what foot to play, when to play it, where they're going to make the runs, when they're going to make the runs. It's just things like that we need to work on to improve, and it'll help us out a lot.
What does it mean for you to be named captain of the Merrillville Pirates team coming up this your senior season? And are you a guy that enjoys doing it verbally or more by example?
Captain was a big thing last year. No, not really for me, but I had to watch Austin Jamerson. He was a really big guy. Took a lot of leadership on, and I paid attention to what he did. Worked with the guys a little bit, and verbally, I like to. Well, sometimes my temper gets away from me, but I like to show them how to play, and then if it doesn't do it, repeat it, repeat it, repeat it.
Let's bring on Bradley Brack right now, the fine keeper for the Merrillville Pirates, and high praise for you, Brad, as far as in comparison with Brandon and Coach saying that you're further along. How does that make you feel, and what do you feel you have to work on to improve as well?
That means a lot to me. The one thing I think that I have to keep on working on is, talk out there and control my team, tell them what to do, and even myself, I have to, make the catches I'm supposed to and make the good saves and whatnot.
How important is communication in the back line for you and your defenders back there?
Communication's a lot. You gotta tell where's the player at, his left side, middle, wherever he's at. You just gotta talk to your back four line and tell them where they're at. If not, they may lose them on the run or anything else. So communication is pretty big.
How do you prepare for shootouts?
Just stay mentally calm and try to read the guy, see what he's gonna do. You just gotta be calm.
Yep, and that's obviously the most intense portion of the match, Coach. Listen, we're getting set to take a break here, and we're trying to archive the event here. We got 8 hours. We got to get on the computer here. So I want to thank you for everything you've done for Northwest Indiana soccer as well as Indiana soccer, and wish you continued success. And it's always great visiting with you, Coach.
Well, thank you, and same right back at you. The job you and Dave both do here is fantastic. Give it a voice.
I'm going to ask him something real quick.
Sure.
About 7 or 8 years ago, at a basketball game at Merrillville High School,
right,
I asked you about an 8th grader going into 9th grade by the name of Ryan Stokes.
Yes, you did.
You remember that?
I remember
Are
that.
there any Ryan Stokes in the hallways of Merrillville High School that we should know about?
You know what? You come out and watch a couple of our games, and we have a couple potential kids, but I still keep in contact with Ryan. He's doing great. He's still kicking. He's kicking up at Grand Valley State.
Yeah.
Doing a fantastic job.
Well,
so.
I knew that, but I had to ask you that.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. You were right.
And you looked at me and said, how the world did you know about Ryan Stokes? He hasn't played 1 minute.
Well, at that point in time, I knew that Dave Miller knows everything about region soccer.
Thanks, Brian.
Hey, thanks a lot.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it very much.
Thanks.
We're gonna take a timeout right now. We're gonna restart the stream here. So remember, you are watching RRSN.com. The broadcast is also going to be archived on our website as well for up to a year after this particular event. You are watching and listening for the 19th annual Northwest Indiana Boys and Girls Soccer Kickoff Classic, live from Hallmark Sports Club 2, 8328 Colorado Street in Merrillville. We'll be back after a brief timeout on Regional Radio Sports.